Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Vimoh Live. This is a podcast that is recorded live on YouTube and Twitch on Wednesdays at 9:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 9:30 p.m. If you are here in the live chat, hello, hi, we'll talk just in a bit. If you are listening to this as an audio show at a later point of time, for example, on Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Ghana.com, JioSavan, etc., then hello. And my request to you would be enjoy the show, but also share it with people you know so that more people can find out about it. And if possible, write a review or give a rating to the podcast on whatever app it is possible. Spotify has a 5-star rating system, which you can use to give it a 5-star rating, and Apple has a review system where you can write a short review of the show so that it helps people understand what the show is about. I'll really appreciate it if you do any of those things. In addition, the show is monetized. The show is devoted to talking about contemporary Indian culture, but more often than not, our conversations go in the general direction of atheism, religion, and superstition. So, if that is something you think should happen more often, you can support the show by clicking the join button below and becoming a member of the show, or sending a super chat so that I may be able to pay bills, buy books, software, and oh yeah, pay bills was the last thing I was supposed to say. Yeah, that all. In addition, there's an announcement. You know that the show happens on Wednesdays at 9:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 9:30 p.m. But this coming Saturday, there is not going to be an episode, and the Wednesday after that, there is also not going to be an episode. I'm traveling. It's the end of the year. I have been cooped up for such a long time that I really need to take a few steps out. I'm going to be traveling a little bit. So coming Wednesday and the Saturday after that, sorry, coming Saturday and the Wednesday after that, there's not going to be an episode. The next time I will see you will be on December 17th. Today's episode, of course, is going to happen, and we will get to that momentarily. I will share another thing with you guys so that you can. Uh, if you look at the chat, you will find that I have shared a link to a YouTube channel called Vimoh Reads. This used to be my writing channel, but I have changed my writing channel to be a book vlog. So you all know that I've been taking a break from social media for some time, and I have every intention of following through with my promise of reading at least 2 to 3 books every month. And I wanted to share the progress with you so that maybe you can find those books useful also. My writing channel was kind of languishing. I have realized that I do write, but I don't enjoy talking about writing so much. So I have turned that into a book vlog. So for any of you who have been asking for book recommendations, please share the bookshelf, all that. That all is now going to happen on that channel. It's now called Vimoh Reads. So if you have not subscribed to it and a book vlog is something that you think you might enjoy, please subscribe to it and hit the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I publish new videos. The channel is at youtube.com/at Vimoh Reads. Somebody pointed out that I'm starting an empire. Vimoh Live, Vimoh Reads, Vimoh Sneezes, Vimoh Takes a Dump. These are all going to be the channels in my empire. I have shared a link in the chat. It is pinned to the top. If you want to come on screen and talk to me face to face, please click that link and you will be able to do so. Until such some people arrive, what we shall do is that we shall read comments. The first comment, as usual, enough. What's your opinion about YouTuber Dhruv Rathi? I think he's generally speaking on the right side of things. In recent times, his videos have kind of gone from being political to be more about information videos. I don't know why. Maybe he is under certain pressures. I don't know. The most recent thumbnail from him that I remember seeing was hilarious. It was called Bread Exposed. The dark secret of bread, apparently. I don't know. I didn't click on it, but I found it quite funny. Mm. Blobby Blob says hello. Sarmad says hello. Jasmine says, bro, are you visiting the mountains or vacations or beaches? I'm visiting friends, wherever they might be. I won't be able to share details about where I'm going and all because it's personal. But yeah, thank you for asking. Harsh says hello. Snowflake says Jai Shri Jesus Christ. Kaushal says Vimoh. Vimoh is going to touch some grass. Touch some grass? Touch some grass का कुछ मतलब होता है. I don't know what the phrase means actually. Hmm. Sarmad says we should start a book club. Well, see, the problem with a book club is I don't want to be the guy who tells people what books to read. Like a book club would be everyone deciding on a book and then everyone reading. Uh, I think that may work for some people, but I A don't want to tell people what to read. And B, if I was not even the person deciding what book to read, then somebody else will be deciding a book and I will just be reading it. I don't know how book clubs work. And even the channel that I'm talking about, Vimo Reads, is not really about book reviews. I just want to share the joy of reading a book. So what I think I will do is that I'll be reading a book, and if after a certain chapter I have some thoughts to share, I'll record it. Then I'll save that recording. Then I'll keep going through the book, and whenever I have some thoughts, I'll record them. At the end of it, I'll put all those recordings together and publish it as a vlog. Maybe that will work. But the intention is not to tell you this is a book you should buy. The intention is to share with you what I am experiencing, and maybe you'll like it, and maybe you'll get the book, and maybe you'll read it. That's where I am. It's a vlog. It's not a book review channel. It's going to be fun, I think. At least for me, it's going to be fun. I don't have any high hopes from the channel. I don't think it'll become a million subscriber channel, but I just want to like keep a log of my reading habit. That's all. Shreya says that bread video by Rathi was about nutrition of bread. It was generally on point. Okay. Aditya, hi. Aditya says how the pyramids were built was one video and it had very little information about that topic. Okay. Anyway, I'm not really interested in talking about other YouTubers. They are free to do whatever they want on their channels. It's none of my business. Blue Blaze says touching grass means leaving online presence for nature's touch. Oh, yeah, totally. I'll be turning 40 in January. And it seems to me that half of my life is over because maybe I won't live till 80. So more than half of my life is over. And it seems like it's time to at least make some changes. Share says touch grass means to face reality. It's a way of saying to get out of your urban internet cave room, get some fresh air, and touch some grass. True. Um, Hamza says, according to you, best country for any human to settle. Well, people have different hope. People have different hopes and aspirations. There are people all over India who want to go and settle in America. I think that's their idea of the best country. According to me, I would like to settle in Iceland. I don't know why. I get a cold very easily, but the country has always had a great uh, appeal for me. Small place, not very crowded, not too many people, uh, beautiful. Iceland or Greenland. I don't know which one I'm talking about, but I think one of those definitely. Abhishek says, your opinion about Christopher Hitchens. Great journalist, great speaker, excellent debater. My one problem with him was that he supported the Iraq war. And even after it turned out that the grounds on the basis of which the Iraq war was fought were vacuous, that there were no weapons of mass destruction there, he did not take his opinions back. He did not admit that he had made a mistake. That's what I don't like about him. Sarmad says, what are you reading at the moment? I am on my 80th book of the year, The Far Pavilions by M.M. Kaye. Okay, 80th book is like amazing, man. I don't think I'm going to do that well. Honestly, one of the reasons I picked up the reading habit once more is because, oh, Soren is waiting. Hi, Soren. Hold on. I'll bring you on screen in just a moment. uh, I have lost patience, honestly. I can't read a book for a few chapters, for a few pages before losing patience and picking up my phone. I'm distancing myself from my phone and focusing more on my reading habit, which I seem to have lost. That is why. I don't think I'm going to get to 80 books a year, but great that you are there. Right now, what I'm reading is a book called The Shallows by Nicholas Carr. I have talked about this in the most recent video on the Vimoh Reads channel. You can go watch it. Right. So let's take Soren on screen. Hi, Soren.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes,
Sorry
hello.
about the wait. I had totally forgotten. I had totally missed seeing you.
No, that's all right. How are you?
Hmm. I'm good. Okay.
Should I ask?
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you remember, but the last time I was like reciting the whole Ram Katha about what my philosophy is, and you were
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah,
कि
yeah. Yeah.
ये
Go on.
काफी लंबा जा रहा है, so just write me a mail.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
तो मैंने ना थोड़ा मतलब मैंने मेल तो लिखी, मेरे को कोई मतलब आया नहीं, पर मैंने सोचा कि बिल्कुल पॉइंट पे आते हैं, फिर उसके अराउंड स्टोरी
हाँ.
जो थी।
आ जाओ. पॉइंट पे आ जाओ.
तो फिर बेसिकली मेरा पॉइंट आपने बिल्कुल ठीक पकड़ा था। वो ये था कि द क्वेश्चन ऑफ गॉड इज अ फिलोसॉफिकल क्वेश्चन, नॉट अ साइंटिफिक वन। तो जब आप जो आपकी नॉर्मल लाइन ऑफ रीजनिंग है कि व्हाट इज द प्रूफ ऑफ इट, क्या इसमें साइंटिफिक मेथड वाली रीजनिंग जो है बेसिकली जो काफी यूजफुल है, मैं उसको कभी डिनाई नहीं कर रहा हूँ, वो गॉड में नहीं काम करती। तो इसका आपने रिस्पॉन्स दिया था कि गॉड, अगर किसी को फिलोसफिकल कॉन्सेप्ट से ही देखना है तो मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, मैं गॉड को एज
Hmm.
अ फिलोसफी देख रहा हूँ और मैं क्लेम
Hmm.
नहीं कर रहा हूँ कि ये है ही है और किसी पे इम्पोज नहीं कर
Hmm.
रहा हूँ, देन यू हैव नो
Hmm.
प्रॉब्लम विद इट। बट एक ये बोल देना कि फिलोसफिकल कॉन्सेप्ट है, इसके अंदर ही काफी सारे मैं कहूँगा भाग आ जाते हैं, पार्ट्स आ जाते हैं, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल एथिक्स, मतलब मैं कह रहा हूँ एथिक्स है, ये भी एक
हुँ,
फिलोसॉफिकल कॉन्सेप्ट ही है, पर ये इतना
हुँ,
ज़्यादा मतलब कोई नहीं मान रहा इसको, मतलब मैं थोड़ा किसी लेवल पे अपोज़ करूँगा। अ, किसी लेवल पे आप समझ पा रहे हो वर्सेस एक ऐसा फिलोसॉफिकल कांसेप्ट लाइक कॉन्शियसनेस को के बारे
हुँ,
में हम डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं, उसके लिए मैं उतना वो नहीं होऊंगा कि अगर वो
हुँ,
नहीं भी मान रहा तो मेरा क्या जा रहा है। आई वुड से गॉड एज अ concept इट लीन्स टुवर्ड्स द फर्स्ट वन,
ओके,
टुवर्ड्स द एथिकल एथिक्स की तरफ, कि मैं चाहूंगा कि लोग गॉड को या एक लेवल पे, मैं किसी रिलीजन पे नहीं की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं गॉड एज अ कंसेप्ट की बात कर रहा हूँ, उस पे तर माने। द रीजन फॉर दैट इज कि अगर गॉड को नहीं मान रहे, अगर आपने सैम हैरिस वर्सेस क्रेग डिबेट देखी, उसमें वो कहते हैं ऑब्जेक्टिव मॉरल वैल्यूज का अगर गॉड नहीं है आंसर, तो सैम
हुँ,
हैरिस से पूछता है क्या है। अब
हुँ।
यहाँ से आपको कुछ रिस्पॉन्स है तो आप बोल सकते हो अभी तक के लिए।
नहीं, मेरा पहली बार तो तुमने जब ये पॉइंट रेज़ किया था, मेरा रिस्पॉन्स जो था उसके बारे में यही है कि तुम कह सकते हो कि गॉड इज़ नॉट अ साइंटिफिक कांसेप्ट, गॉड इज़ अ फिलोसॉफिकल प्योरली फिलोसॉफिकल कंजेक्चर. But there are many people out there who will not agree with you, and my problem is primarily with them. People who
अग्रीड,
want to use some kind of intelligent agent as the creative force behind the physical universe, right? They
अग्रीड,
don't think of it as a philosophical concept purely. They use philosophy and logic in order to prove that there must be an intelligent entity which gave rise to the physical universe. So
अग्रीड।
that's the first thing. That's the first thing. My problem is with them primarily, not with you. But I am a little confused about you saying कि God and ethics are in the same folder. Do you want to elaborate on that?
हाँ, तो फर्स्ट मैं इससे प्रीफेस कर लेता हूँ, मेरे को भी उन लोगों से प्रॉब्लम है जो कुछ किसी लेवल पे क्लेम कर रहे हैं कि
Hmm.
गॉड ने बनाई, सेम प्रॉब्लम। मैं कहता हूँ गॉड एथिक्स वाले उसमें ज्यादा है, क्योंकि जो क्रेग का आर्गुमेंट था मेरे हिसाब से काफी सेंस बनाता है, क्योंकि सैम हैरिस जब क्लेम करता है कि हम बस ये मान लेते हैं कि एक वॉर टोन वुमेन जिसका
क्रेग का
रेप हो
बाय द
गया।
वे, सोरेन, बिफोर यू प्रोसीड,
या
क्रेग के आर्ग्यूमेंट का एक बहुत बड़ा हिस्सा गॉड को फिजिकल यूनिवर्स का कारण बताना भी है. Clearly you don't agree with that, right?
नो 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 नॉट एट ऑल, क्योंकि वो बहुत
Because
बड़ी
he
लेवल
does
पे डिपेंड
present
करता है।
kalam, cosmological and all sorts of things which have no bearing on reality.
100%,
Yeah.
100%। मैं
Okay.
एवोल्यूशन में मानता हूँ, मैं जेनेसिस में नहीं मानता हूँ।
ठीक है. So get to the part where you agree with him.
द पार्ट आई एग्री विद हिम इज कि जब सैम हैरिस कह रहा है कि अ, हम अगर ये डिफाइन कर लेते हैं कि बुरी स्टेट ये है उस लड़की के लिए और अच्छी स्टेट ये है,
Hmm.
और हम ये मान लेते हैं, उसके बाद हम एक एथिक्स की फाउंडेशन बिल्ड कर सकते हैं। क्रेग
Hmm.
बस ये कहता है कि ये भी एक फेथ का ही आर्गुमेंट है, इसके पीछे
I
कोई।
agree. I agree. But I don't agree with Craig. I agree with you when you say that Sam Harris's conceptualization of morality as simply being ये better है और ये worse है is not sufficient. क्योंकि in my experience, like suppose कोई cigarette smoke कर रहा है, उसके लिए better क्या है? cigarette छोड़ना या नहीं छोड़ना?
बिल्कुल।
cigarette छोड़ना उसके लिए better है. पर अगर मैं उसका cigarette लेके फेंक दूंगा तो वो suffer करेगा. So at the
हम्म।
end of the day, he will hate me for doing a thing that is good for him. He
या
will feel bad, he will suffer, and all sorts of things. So I don't think that question is answered so easily.
अग्रीड।
Unless I again become an authoritarian decider of good and bad and say, मैं सिगरेट्स को बैन कर रहा हूँ तुम लोग को तुम्हारे लिए तुम्हारे भले के लिए because that
100%।
way of doing things can become a justification for a whole lot of bad things also, right? सो आई डोंट थिंक वैसे सैम हैरिस का जो कंसेप्चुलाइजेशन उससे मैं एग्री करता हूँ, बट ऑल्टरनेटिव क्या है?
आई थिंक हम हमारी पोजीशन काफी हद तक सेम है, मेरा भी यही है कि ऑल्टरनेटिव कुछ भी नहीं है। तभी अब मैं वापस स्टोरी नहीं डालना चाहता।
तो फिर तुम
मैं
उसको गॉड क्यों कह रहे हो?
हाँ, मैं ना मैं स्टोरी नहीं डालना चाहता, पर खेर के काटने का था कि हमें नहीं पता इसका ऑल्टरनेटिव क्या है, तो हम ऐसे एक लीप ऑफ फेथ ले लेते हैं। उस लीप ऑफ फेथ को गॉड
नो,
बुलाना है तो
आई
गॉड बुला
थिंक
लो।
सी हम लोग
सॉरी,
एथिक्स का इस्तेमाल इसलिए करते हैं बिकॉज़ दे आर यूज़फुल।
नहीं, लीप
थ्रू
ऑफ फेथ
सम
इन दैट
थ्रू
एसेंस।
सम एवोल्यूशनरी थ्रू नहीं, इसमें लीप ऑफ फेथ की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है। तुम्हें जान से मारना बुरा है, तुम्हारे लिए और अगर मैं एक लॉ बेस्ड सोसाइटी में एग्ज़िस्ट करता हूँ, तो मेरे लिए भी।
हुँ।
उस प्रकार की क्लैरिटी गॉड के बारे में होती है क्या? गॉड को ना मानना
अ,
ऑब्जेक्टिवली बुरा है, नहीं हो सकता।
शायद से आप गॉड, हम दोनों डेफिनिशन डिफरेंट यूज़ कर रहे हैं। मैं गॉड एज़ अ लीप ऑफ
डेफिनेशन
फेथ
बताओ
यूज़
फिर
करता
अपना
हूँ।
अपना डेफिनेशन बताओ।
God is a leap of faith where we assume that some sort of ethics which we really cannot define in philosophical terms right now is true। तो हमारे पास कोई
Okay,
अच्छा।
so here's my problem with it. If you say that we do not have a fully good handle on good and bad ethics, etc., I have no problem with it. My problem is that you're using a word like God for it, which is already being used for something else by other people. Why the
True,
deliberate confusion? Why use that
true।
word? Say that we don't know.
I think leap of faith is a bit, I think हम
Why leap
same
of faith? What are you believing in? You're saying
leap of
that
faith
you
that
don't
killing an
know
ant is bad, I think।
what?
leap of faith in that killing an ant is bad, like a simple ethical
No,
argument.
you're not believing that killing someone is bad. You're responding to evolutionary pressures that have shaped our way of being for millions of years. If a tribe of creatures exists and they have interdependency in order to survive, then it is very clear, it is visibly, demonstrably clear that hurting someone is bad, not only for the person who's being hurt, but for you also, because then other people will not trust you and you will also suffer, and the tribe will also suffer because people will start mistrusting each other.
Wait,
It's
so
not a leap of faith. It's a thing we do because the benefits of it are clearly visible.
आई थिंक यहाँ पे एक डिसएग्रीमेंट है। तो आप कह रहे हो एथिक्स का जो बेसिस होना चाहिए दैट शुड बी
हम्म,
एवोल्यूशनरी, क्योंकि ये है आर्गुमेंट और इसके
हम्म,
अगेंस्ट मेरे काफी पॉइंट्स हैं। आपका यही
हम्म।
पॉइंट है?
मेरा कहना है कि मैं एथिक्स को अगर इवोल्यूशनरी नहीं भी मानता हूँ तो भी उसका अच्छा और बुरा तो दिख सकता है ना. वी कैन सी दैट सम थिंग्स आर गुड एंड सम थिंग्स आर बैड.
हु वाज कौन देख रहा है और कौन डिसाइड कर रहा है और वो किस बेसिस पे डिसाइड कर रहा है?
दैट इज ट्रू. पर अगर हम लोग एक इंडिविजुअल केस को लेंगे, जैसे मर्डर,
यस,
you and I can both agree that it's wrong, right? It causes suffering
इट
to
कॉजेस
someone, and
सफरिंग।
it causes suffering to the person who kills. It causes suffering to everyone who's around them also,
बट
both the
अगर
killer and the killed.
अब मैं वापस स्टोरी नहीं डालना चाहता ज्यादा, पर आपने क्राइम एंड पनिशमेंट पढ़ी है डॉस्टोयेव्स्की?
नहीं.
बट लेट्स से किसी एक मेयर को मारने से पूरी देश का
हम्म,
भला हो रहा है, तो क्या उसे मारना
हम्म.
ठीक है? नहीं
सी,
ठीक है।
मैं कह रहा हूँ कि हर किसी को अपनी नॉर्मल जिंदगी के कोर्स में उस प्रकार के डिसीजंस नहीं लेने पड़ते.
अग्रीड।
And sure, that's a good topic to talk about. That's a good topic to have a philosophical argument about. But on the whole, for most cases in life, we can reach sensible decisions, right?
बट उस सबके बेसिस पे एक लीप ऑफ फेथ होता है, मेरा ये
नहीं,
कहना
लीप ऑफ फेथ नहीं है. मैं तुम्हें नहीं मार रहा क्योंकि मैं नहीं चाहता तुम सफ़र करो. सिंपल.
है।
इसमें
क्यों नहीं
लीप ऑफ फेथ है
चाहते?
ही नहीं.
क्यों नहीं?
क्योंकि आई थिंक अगर तुम सफ़र करोगे तो तुम्हारे लिए बुरा है. मैं तुमको मारूँगा तो मेरे लिए बुरा है. तुम्हारी फैमिली के लिए बुरा है क्योंकि उनको दुःख होगा. मेरे लिए बुरा है क्योंकि मुझे दुःख होगा. मतलब मेरे परिवार को दुःख होगा क्योंकि मैं जेल जाऊँगा. सिंपल.
मतलब लॉ के बिना आप मार सकते थे? मतलब
नहीं, मैं
अगर
लॉ
मान
के बिना भी नहीं मार सकता था क्योंकि दुःख होता. तुम्हारे परिवार को, अगर हम एक लॉलेस सोसाइटी में रह रहे होते तो तुम्हारे परिवार को तो फिर भी दुःख होता ना. If I could get away with killing you, I would still not want to, because something in me, and I have to assume it is evolutionary, because everything is in me evolutionary, or at least a part of it is nature versus nurture. But for the most part, we can agree that there is something in us that makes it very clear to us that killing people is going to be bad for everyone. It's not a leap of faith, it's clearly visible.
आई थिंक लाइक आई मोस्टली एग्री, बट मेरे हिसाब से बेसिस ऑफ एथिक्स जो है इन इट्स कोर इतना ज्यादा इजी नहीं जितना आप कह रहे हो। आप इसके बारे में और पढ़
मैं नहीं
सकते
कह
हो।
रहा कि इजी है. मैं कह रहा हूँ कि इन मोस्ट केसेस यू डोंट हैव टू रेसल विथ इट लाइक अ फिलोसॉफिकल प्रॉब्लम.
ठीक है, और मैं क्रिटिसिज्म से एग्री करता हूँ कि गॉड को यूज करना इज अ मिसकंस्ट्रूमेंट ऑफ द वर्ड,
Yeah,
क्योंकि मोस्ट
you
लोग उस
can
तरीके से
say
नहीं
you
सुनते।
can say you can say we take some things for granted because they're useful.
हाँ,
But
पर
when you start
केरकेगार्ड,
using the word God, you create unnecessary
नहीं मैं
confusion.
समझ गया, केरकेगार्ड ने ना गॉड वर्ड यूज करता, तो मैं थोड़ा मडल हो गया उस कॉन्सेप्ट में, बट हाँ
Hmm.
आई थिंक हम सेम ही। हाँ, आई थिंक आई एग्री विद यू।
Yeah.
या
My focus always in every conversation I have on this channel, my focus is always on live life as practically as possible, because not all answers are available, and not everyone who's offering answers
हाँ,
has the answers. They're simply
अग्री,
offering answers in order to gain authority for themselves. So
अग्री।
most of the time we don't actually need to get super philosophical about things. Life can be led reasonably conveniently without going into all that, right?
अगर कोई और नहीं है तो मैं एक और क्वेश्चन डिस्कस कर
हैं
लूँ,
हैं, तीन तीन लोग
तो
हैं,
मैं चला
चार
जाता
हो
हूँ
गए,
उनके पे। थैंक यू,
चार
थैंक
लोग
यू।
हो गए.
बाय।
चलो, bye bye. That was Soren. The next person is Hamza. Hi Hamza.
Hi, Vimoh. Am I audible?
Yes.
First of all, I just wanted to say that I love your content
Thanks
and
man.
and Discord में मैंने काफी फ्रेंड्स बनाए आपके चैनल्स पे,
अच्छा,
उसके लिए थैंक यू।
डिस्कॉर्ड तो बंद होने वाला है. आई होप यू नो दैट.
हाँ, वो जनवरी में मैंने मैसेज देखा वो।
जनवरी 4th को बंद हो जाएगा मेरा डिस्कॉर्ड सर्वर.
या सो और चैनल्स बन गए तो मैंने ज्वाइन कर लिया वो भी।
गुड.
सो मेरा फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन था, मेरी एक फ्रेंड है तो उसने स्टोरी डाली थी लाइक कि कास्ट बेस्ड क्राइम्स बहुत हो रहे हैं तो उसके अगेंस्ट। तो फिर नेक्स्ट स्टोरी उसकी थी कि गीता के किसी कोट की, कि ये कोट मुझे बहुत पसंद है, तो मैंने उससे तो मैंने उससे बोला कि ये काफी तुम ऐसे तुम कास्ट का बोल रहे हो, फिर नेक्स्ट में तुम गीता कोट डाल रहे हो। तो उसने कहा कि गीता में ऐसे क्या इशू है, तो मैंने थोड़े लिंक्स भेजे कि
हम्म
ये कास्ट बेस्ड चीजें हैं। तो फिर उसने बोला कि गीता पढ़ने से मुझे मेंटल पीस आती है, इसलिए मैं पढ़ती हूँ। तो मैं ऐसा कास्ट के अगेंस्ट कुछ सोचती नहीं, लेकिन मुझे पढ़ने में मेंटल पीस आती है और मेरे को एंजाइटी नहीं आती। तो मैं क्या बोलूँ फिर?
आई थिंक तुम उनको, जैसा कि तुमने किया, लिंक भेज सकते हो, उम्मीद कर सकते हो उनको पढ़े और सोच समझ पढ़े। व्हेन दे से दैट दे आर एक्सपीरियंसिंग पीस, you can simply say कि do you think that's a good argument, do you think that's a good reason, because there are people who find mental peace in other things also which are very toxic, right? So like a person who's smoking cigarettes is doing it for mental peace but it's not good for them, right? And गीता के
या
केस में तो प्रॉब्लम ये है कि the book encourages certain cultural behaviors that are that are completely harmless to upper caste people but are very bad for people who are not from Savarna backgrounds, right?
या
So I think a lot of times what happens is that people follow religious scriptures without actually having studied them, because your friend says गीता पढ़ने से उनको शांति मिलती है. I don't think she has actually read the Gita critically, because if she had, she would know what you send her, right?
या
Right? That's a so, like a lot of people say they like to read something, but it's mostly tokenism because they haven't actually. Even I hadn't. A few years ago, I would have told you that I find peace in reading Gita, but then it
इवन आई
became
हैड इट।
apparent
मैं
to me
भी
that
अपने
yeah,
रिलीजियस बुक्स पढ़ के पहले मैं सोचता
हाँ
था हाँ ये
होता
तो
है,
अच्छी चीज है।
because हमें जो
फिर मैंने
versions
थोड़ी
provide किए जाते हैं वो बहुत sanitized होते हैं.
हम्म
So I think it's a good thing that your friend made clear that she is against casteist violence, and I think you can maintain a line of communication with her and expose her to books written by Dr. Ambedkar, and hope that she finds more information there, and hope that this is the start of her journey. और क्या कर
हाँ,
सकते हो?
वही इशू है एक्चुअली। वो डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर की फैन है और फिर वो
So do that now. Don't try to change her mind.
हम्म,
Say, hey,
हम्म,
I know that you're a fan of Dr. Ambedkar. I got you this book. Or if you
हम्म।
don't want to buy her a book, just tell her to buy the book. It's like Annihilation of Caste and Riddles in Hinduism and the life of God, life of the Buddha or something. There was another book by him. I'm forgetting the name exactly. These books you can recommend to her, and maybe she'll read them, and maybe she'll come out better.
हाँ, और मेरे पास एक और क्वेश्चन है। जैसे
Hmm.
आपने कोई पुरानी लाइव वीडियो में बोला था अबाउट यूएस में कास्ट बेस्ड एट्रोसिटीज, तो पीछे जनेऊ
Hmm.
चेक करते हैं ऐसे
Hmm.
पीछे पैट
Hmm.
करके।
Hmm.
तो मैंने वो बीबीसी का आर्टिकल पढ़ा। तो
Hmm.
मैंने एक दो लोगों को भेजा था अपने फ्रेंड्स को, तो उन्होंने बोला कि ये सिर्फ एक बंदे का है, इसकी वजह से पूरे यूएस में हिंदू फोबिया फैल रहा है इन यूएस, नॉट इन इंडिया।
Hmm.
सो इज इट राइट और रॉन्ग इन यूएस?
नहीं, इट्स नॉट, देयर इज नथिंग रॉन्ग। लाइक हिंदू फोबिया कैसे हुआ? उनको पूछो,
उसने
तुम्हें
बोला
लगता है
कि
कास्टिज्म अच्छा
पूरा
है?
सावर्णा का नाम लिखा है, लेकिन सावर्णा में बहुत चीजें आती हैं, कायस्थ आते हैं, वैसा नहीं करते यूएस में।
नहीं,
और
see the system is this is there is a reason it's called Brahmanism, which is that the system was created by Brahmins for their benefit, and then they created a system of distributed discrimination. उनके नीचे सब हैं, पर उनके नीचे जो लोग हैं उनमें से कुछ ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, कुछ कम इंपॉर्टेंट है, so that everyone can feel superior to other people, and they can continue to propagate the uh,
तो क्या
caste system.
पूरे सावर्णा के अंदर भी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन होता है? लाइक कुछ लोग
I
कायस्थ को भी
suppose
करते हैं टॉप।
I suppose there are people who do that. Yeah, sure. Like there might be Brahmins who say मैं कायस्थ के घर में अपनी बेटी को शादी नहीं कराऊंगा, मैं सिर्फ ब्राह्मण के घर में कराऊंगा.
हाँ, ये तो इंडियन मुस्लिम्स में भी है कास्ट, तो
Yeah,
इंडियन
yeah,
मुस्लिम
yeah,
बहुत हो
yeah.
गए।
Exactly. अशरफों में.
हम्म।
Yeah.
और मेरा
So I
लास्ट
think I think
क्वेश्चन।
a good response to like I just wanted to say this because I think this is important. You can ask anyone who says that caste के बारे में बात करते हैं, हिंदू फोबिया फैला रहा है, उनको पूछो तो तुम क्या चाहते हो? तुम क्या चाहते हो कि कास्ट सिस्टम का जो प्रॉब्लम है उसके बारे में बात ना हो? क्योंकि अगर तुम वो चाहते हो तो तुम चाहते हो कि हिंदुइज्म में कास्ट रहे.
हम्म
हिंदू फोबिया अगर तुम इस रूप में देखो कि जो लोग कास्ट को हिंदुइज्म में रखना चाहते हैं वो हिंदुइज्म को बर्बाद कर रहे हैं, तो ये हिंदू फोबिया नहीं हुआ, ये हिंदू रिफॉर्मिज्म हुआ, नहीं?
हम्म।
सो
या
उस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से बात करने की कोशिश करो, मे बी दे विल गेट इट, मे बी दे वोंट, हू नोज़? व्हाट्स योर नेक्स्ट पॉइंट?
हाँ, मैं लास्ट क्वेश्चन इज अबाउट आजकल मैं इंस्टा पे देख रहा था। सो एक दो मैंने वो देखा, फैनेटिक्स पोस्ट नहीं होते राम मंदिर पे, द
हाँ, हाँ,
आर्टिस्ट। हाँ
हाँ।
हाँ। तो मैंने उस बंदे को रिप्लाई किया, तो फिर उसने बोला कि ये तो बाहर भी यही होता है, लाइक इन लाइक हागा सोफिया और कोई भी जैसे जहाँ जहाँ
हुँ,
चर्च डिस्ट्रॉय किए, जू जू टेम्पल डिस्ट्रॉय किए, मुस्लिम्स ने
हुँ,
अपना कुछ रिलीजियस चीज खड़ी कर दी, मस्जिद या कुछ भी खड़ा कर दिया, तो वो भी गलत है। मैंने कहा हाँ वो गलत है। तो फिर उसने कहा तो यहाँ पे तो तोड़ के बनाया ही गया, लेकिन बनाना तो सही था, एंड पॉइंट तो सही निकला। तो फिर मैंने बोला एंड पॉइंट तो क्राइम से आया ना, मतलब राम
हाँ,
मंदिर तो क्राइम से आया। तो उसने कहा लेकिन आना तो जरूरी था ना, आना तो सही है। तो क्या
नहीं
आना
वो तो
सही है?
अगर आना क्राइम से सही है, तो कल को कोई और बोलेगा कि हमारा पॉपुलेशन बढ़ गया है, हम फिर से इसको तोड़ के कोई और चीज़ बनाएँगे, वो सही हो जाएगा क्या? जब कोई तुम क्रिमिनल जब लाइक मेथड्स मैटर राइट?
हम्म।
Even if you're trying to do something that is in your opinion right, you have to do it by the right method. And this
हम्म।
was turned into right later on. Like सुप्रीम कोर्ट से उन्होंने जजमेंट ले लिया, इलाहाबाद हाई कोर्ट से जजमेंट ले लिया, उसको राइट बता के फिर मंदिर बनाना शुरू किया। बट द एक्चुअल थिंग वाज स्टिल अ क्राइम। पीपल वर अरेस्टेड फॉर इट। एल के Advani's Rath Yatra was stopped in Bihar. Lalu Prasad applied, serious legal courts against him. There is
या
no doubt in anyone's mind that that was a crime.
सो अगर कोई भी रिलीजियस साइड हो किसी भी रिलीजन की, अगर
Hmm.
वो अगर बाद पहले प्रूव हो जाए कि किसी और रिलीजन के साइट्स के ऊपर बनी है, तो क्या उसको पे केस उसको तोड़ने के लिए कुछ करना चाहिए या उसको छोड़ देना चाहिए?
मुझे लगता है छोड़ देना चाहिए, क्या फ़ायदा है? मैं तो एक तो यू आर टॉकिंग टू एन एथिस्ट एंड आई एम थिंकिंग यू आर आल्सो एन एथिस्ट, राइट?
या आई एम एग्नोस्टिक।
राइट? सो हमको क्या फ़र्क पड़ता है? यू आर एन एग्नोस्टिक, यू आर
नहीं,
नॉट एन एथिस्ट।
उसका आई डोंट नो दैट गॉड एग्जिस्ट, सो इट इज एग्नोस्टिक एथिस्ट ना।
एग्नोस्टिक एथिस्ट हो।
व्हाट्स द डिफरेंस बिटवीन एग्नोस्टिक एंड एग्नोस्टिक एथिस्ट?
Agnostic doesn't mean anything. Agnostic atheist means someone who does not know and therefore does not believe.
हाँ, सो आई एम
Agnostic you can
एग्नोस्टिक
be about
एथिस्ट।
moon landing also.
वो तो
If
अलग
you
ही है।
say I don't know if the moon landing happened, then you're agnostic about the moon landing. Agnostic is simply an adjective.
देन आई
So
एम
are you an
एग्नोस्टिक
agnostic
एथिस्ट।
atheist?
या
Agnostic atheist. Okay.
या
So yeah, मैं तो ये भी नहीं चाहता कि मंदिर मस्जिद बने कहीं भी,
नहीं नहीं,
राइट?
अगर बनने भी या
तो
ना बने, उसके रिपल्स हर जगह फैल जाते हैं और हेट्रेड फैल जाता है,
yeah, that's true.
अगर ना भी
But
बने।
yeah, no, I think if something is found, you can recognize it as historically true that there is something underground here. But to create present day political problems which lead to mass, violence against people, I don't think that's a good idea in any country at all.
हम्म। आई गेस दैट्स इट, थैंक यू।
Great. Thanks, Hamza.
थैंक यू, बाय।
Hmm. Danish. Hi, Danish.
Hello. Man. Hi,
Hello.
man. How are you?
Good. What's up?
So, man, I want to talk to you about something I call willful ignorance.
Okay.
Recently Pranav uploaded a video that saying something in terms of that in India people do science as a means to end. They don't actually want science. They just
Hmm.
want to earn money using science.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I think it's actually not. There's actually something bigger than that.
Hmm.
As I remember, when I was a kid, so we had a music hall in our school.
Hmm.
So in that music hall, we had a lot of posters, some of say many scientists like even Darwin, and clearly explaining the theory of evolution,
Hmm.
which clearly says creationists are wrong. But in that
I
same
don't think
music hall,
I don't think any school textbook has ever mentioned creationists. But go on.
but in that same music hall, you know, no offense for the teacher, she was great at her work, but after the classes, she would usually tell us stories as kids,
Hmm.
stories about how Christ did that.
Hmm.
Not just Christ, for every religion, she would say
Hmm.
all religions are same, and then go on to tell us stories about that. So about I think there's a pattern that the religious people are willfully trying to make science seem less important. You in your videos say that we don't want to destroy religion at all,
Hmm.
we just want to make it less important in our lives. But
No,
I
no.
think currently,
Hold on. I don't think it is my position that I don't want to destroy religion. My position is that I know that I can't destroy religion, and therefore all I can do is devalue it.
yeah, yeah, okay. So what I think is that religious people have what we want actually. It's actually the opposite now in India. So what's your take on that?
I don't know what that last line meant. Religious people have what we want. Matlab?
Religious people, actually in India, religion is more important than science. Religious people are actually willfully trying to make science less seem less important. As children, it's not that I didn't want to learn science. It's not that I didn't want to, you know these deep secrets of science and evolution and how it proves, not
Hmm.
proves, but it makes God of the gaps argument and all that stuff, which I learned recently
Hmm.
now,
Hmm.
seeing Pranav's videos and all.
Hmm.
But I think religious people willfully try to make it seem less important.
Yeah, they do.
And
But
that's the bigger picture
I don't know
actually.
what this has to do with.
It's not that as students we don't want to learn science. It's not that we just want science as a means to end, but it's that religious people are willfully trying to suppress science. I think that's
But
the bigger
here
picture.
only. So I think you're making a distinction here between we and religious people. When it, in many cases, the we ends up being the religious people. The students who choose science, their parents send them that way. Pranav's point was that a person choosing to study science should be curious about science, but a lot of people who go into science do not go into it because of scientific curiosity. They go because a science education will get them an easy job, or rather a job easily, and that is less likely with a humanities background subject. I think that is what he was saying. Your point about religious people trying to devalue science is obviously true, but it has nothing to do with the point that Pranav has made.
Hmm. So I had another point. I was actually talking to one of my friends.
Hmm.
So he said something in terms of, okay, do in Hinduism we have different god for sun and fire.
Okay.
So I said yes, I know. So he said it proves that ancient Hindus knew that sun does sun is not on fire. Sun is actually a mixture of nuclear reactions and all that. It
Hmm.
proves that. How do
What
you
did you
respond
say?
to that?
It's stupid.
I said
That's my
I
response.
said I said,
We do have a
but
separate
Greek
we
gods
do have
also
a separate.
have.
Yeah, so in Hindu mythology, there are separate gods for, like, the Surya is the god of sun, Agni is the god of the wind. Agni is the god of fire, Vayu is the god of wind, but Maruts are the god of the storms, and Indra is the god of
Thunder, I
rain,
think.
and thunder. Yeah, I suppose. So yeah, there is some distinction there, but I don't know where in all this he found nuclear reactions, because nobody had any gods of nuclear reactions. No religion in history has ever had a god of nuclear reactions. If they actually were that wise about the true nature of reality, they would have had a god of nuclear reactions.
I told him that even Greek and Egyptians have distinction between sun god and fire god. So that
Hmm.
doesn't prove anything. So he said
Hmm.
no, they copied Hinduism and all that.
Yeah, ask him to prove it.
I told him, but he just
Point
referred
at
to
his
the text.
shirt. Point at his shirt and say that you copied that shirt from me. If he says, "How do you know that?" Ask him, "How do you know that this happened?" Randomly saying shit is neither here nor there, right? They copied this from there, they copied that from there. It doesn't prove anything. If do you have proof of that copying having happened? If you don't, then shut up.
Yes, man. Okay, man. Thank you. I actually have an English paper tomorrow, so it was actually a
Okay.
good preparation
Best
for
of luck,
that.
man. Best of luck. Best of luck.
Thank you, man.
Chalo. Bye bye. That was Danish. Next is Scooby, whose display picture is Pingu. There's a whole lot of 90s
Yeah,
nostalgia.
hi.
90s nostalgia plus
Yeah,
early
I am.
2000s nostalgia. बताओ क्या हुआ?
So I was watching this show, like this debate between David Wood and the other person was Matt Dillahunty.
Hmm.
And there's one point that actually made me think a lot because in this David Wood, uh, he gave his own personal experience.
Scooby, are you using a
And
Bluetooth headset or something?
yeah,
Don't. Please just talk into your phone. There's a cracking sound happening. Remove it and just talk into your phone.
Okay, let me. Is this better now?
Yeah, talk. Go on, say something.
Um, Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it better now? Yeah. So what he
If you
said
don't
was
say
that
anything, how will I know if it is better? Say something.
Am I audible now?
You are audible. Go on, talk.
Yeah. So what he said was that when he was 18 years old, he hit his father with a sledgehammer, and he was an
Who?
atheist at that time.
Who?
David Wood. David
Okay.
Wood.
Huh.
He's now in very profound, like famous atheist, Christian
Hmm.
right now. So he said that he was at the time 18 and he hit his father with a sledgehammer, and he went to jail for that. And at that time, he was introduced to Christianity, and then he became a devout Christian. So what I thought about that is that okay, he argued that that religion made him a better human being, but being an atheist did not give him anything like a moral purpose or like a sense of goodness in turn. So at Lahanti at that time, he just asked him about like, okay, is there any other way? Like if he were an atheist now, if he were to renounce his faith, would he still hit someone with a sledgehammer? And at that time, Matt Dillahunty, David Wood said that since he's now older, much older now, so he wouldn't hit someone with a sledgehammer, but he would more likely to be to punch someone in the face. So at that time, Matt Dillahunty said, if that is how your morality is like, that
Yeah.
you need religion, then you should remain a Christian.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't think
like
David Wood. I don't think David Wood or anyone can confidently say that the moment I leave my religion, I will become a monster, because that proves to me that either says that you're in need of serious therapy, or that you're just lying in order to
yeah, he
justify
said that
remaining
he's
in
going
your
through a
religion.
therapy.
Yeah.
David Wood said that he's going through therapies and like a lot of
Yeah.
things is happening. It's like
So therapy is
psychologically.
more likely to be useful than Christianity, I think. I think David Wood must have undergone some trauma in his childhood, which caused him to do this to his father, or there may have been other reasons. The fact that he would not do something like that now is, as he himself said, probably a function of his having grown up, and not a function of his religion, because such stories can be found in every religion. A Muslim person can say, I was very bad, then I found Allah and I became good. Would that be a good argument? Would David would accept it? If a Hindu said, I was very atheistic, then I discovered Advaita Vedanta and now I'm very peaceful, would that be a argument to prove that there is truth in the religion? No, I don't think anyone will accept it as an argument. So I don't think it is an argument. But yeah, thank you for recounting the story. What else is there?
Yeah, there's also one thing that in that debate, he was mainly talking, the debate was actually about secularism versus humanity, like the religious theocracy, and like in that moral, like religious, how do I say this? Like a religion making you a good person rather than humanity making you a
Hmm.
good person.
Hmm.
So in that way, he was talking about like if a person can be in a religious perspective, if he's like humanity, like an atheist perspective is more about collectivism. Okay, I care about you, you care about me, so that
Hmm.
we don't kill each other. We can make an argument, like we can have a middle ground and stay
Hmm.
like that. But in religious perspective, I won't kill you and you won't kill me because God said so. But
Hmm.
and God is also giving me a lot of so-called, like for man, it is giving me a lot of benefit, right? Like, because if I'm a
What is
man,
giving you a benefit?
like if I'm a man,
Hmm.
I'm getting more benefit than a woman. Like I can marry more people, like marry
According to who,
women.
like what worldview are you talking about right now? Religion or humanism?
No, from a religious perspective, like I
Okay.
was thinking that if I'm a religious person,
Hmm.
the God is not only just giving me like a what do I say, a boost, but also justifying if I'm suppose like mainly. most men are like jealous type of person, I think, because based on my experience that they don't
Scooby,
want their girlfriend to
I
talk
have
to other
to, like,
person.
I don't know what you're talking about. Can you put
Yeah,
this more clearly?
yeah. So what religion does is that it gives a lot of pressure, like mental gymnastics. Like, it gives a lot of bonds. It puts women in chain, mental chains, right? So
Okay.
they can't do anything that goes against what religion says. So, but
Yeah.
it also gives man to do those things which women are not able to, right? So,
I don't know,
if I
still
have
don't know
to,
what you mean.
like, if I have
Because
to,
here's what I've
monogamous
understood so far.
relationships,
Here is what I have
like.
heard you say. So, by the way, Scooby, are you an atheist?
I have been an atheist for a long time, but
Are you an
based on
atheist
all
right
the
now?
yes, I am. But like the thing is that if I'm, that's why I said that if I'm being collectively, if I'm thinking collectively, if I'm thinking for all the other people as well, then being an atheist is a good choice. But if I have to be selfish, then being a religious is a good choice for me.
Well, again, there are religious people who are very kind to each other, and there are atheists who are also assholes to each other. So the
No, no,
worldview
but being
itself is neither
religious,
going to make you listen. The worldview itself is neither going to put you on this side or that side of that equation. That's going to have to be you. Usually what I find is that when people are religious and they need to find justifications for their religion, they find good things that uh, they have, and they give credit for it to their religion. And if they want to, denounce the other side, they find bad things and they say you are all like this. So I think this line of conversation where you try to make one thing into collectivism and the other thing into selfishism, if that's a word, it's not. I don't know why I said it. If you want to divide things into like categories like that, it's not going to work for very long, because it's
no,
completely
because
false. Like people, Christians, for example, might say that a huge part of their worldview is collectivism, community, church going, and all that. Hindus might say the same thing. Muslims might say the same thing. So how does that go through your filter?
Yes, I completely agree with you on that point. But like there are certain nuances, like certain loopholes where religious people can get away with it and justify some things that a, a person who is an atheist, he would have a hard time justifying if he has to do it. So that's what I was thinking. Like if I have to be like selfish and do something that might an atheist might consider like it's not right, but like
Hmm.
based on religious text, he would be able to say, okay, see, I believe in my God, and my God says that if I do this, it is okay with me. I will still go
Hmm.
to heaven. There's nothing
Hmm.
wrong against it. But from an atheistic point from an atheist point, you're like, no, this is wrong because it's like not good for society, and like you can make an argument for that. But since a religious person has that um what do you call it, the green card about it, okay, I can get away with it.
Hmm.
Yeah, that will still, that's why I said that it for a selfish
No, I
person,
get your
he can
point,
show
and
hard.
I think from a certain point of view it makes sense, but I don't think there are religious, like if you're saying that this is going to be the experience of every religious person, then I don't think that is accurate. There may be religious people who, if they commit a crime and then they seek justification for it in the religious book or in the from their god, they will find it, but they will still feel that they have done something wrong. I think that how people feel about good and bad or good and bad action is almost is probably not as frequently affected by their worldview as we think. Like a lot of us atheists tend to think that religious people will all think the same way, but that is not the case. A lot of religious people think that all atheists will think the same way, but that is not the case. So again, I would like to repeat that the point that you're making is, from a certain point of view, yeah, if you oversimplify things it makes sense, but it's not actually going to happen in practical reality.
I see. Like I do have a lot of things to think about. Like have been an atheist for like there has been a time where I think that did I become an atheist for like a emotional reason, or did I become an atheist because I know that this is scientifically like bullshit? Like I don't really justify, like I don't really subscribe to this, or do I simply do it because since my past like childhood has been a little bit traumatic in the sense like there has been like a child abuse and stuff, and that somewhere within that line religion has been some part of it. So it has been I'm not entirely
Yeah,
sure if I am like atheist for right reason or not.
I think it is okay to be atheist or religious for any reason whatsoever, as long as you're not hurting anyone. And I think if you are thinking about these things, it's a good thing. Maybe you can continue thinking about these things. However, my only warning would be always be aware of what filter you are applying to any argument. Is it personal? Is it emotional? Or is it verifiable and demonstrable and applies to everyone? Because what seems to me to be the case, at least here, is that you are looking at things from your personal point of view, just as I am also, by the way. You're looking at things from your point of view, I'm looking at things from my point of view. But we should not be thinking that our point of view is what everyone's experience can be evaluated through. That's all.
Okay. Thank you so much, man. Like appreciate all talking to me.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Bye bye.
Sure. Bye.
Okay, so before I proceed any further, Varun Singh has become a new member. Thank you, Varun Singh, for becoming a member. I much appreciate it. A reminder to everyone else, be like Varun Singh and become a member. Click the join button below and become a member of the channel so that you can support this channel and my other work through a monthly amount. And whatever you choose to contribute will help me buy books and buy software and pay my bills and do other normal things that human beings have to do in order to survive. So thank you, Varun Singh, once more. Hold on. Karthik Srinivas asked a question in chat and then went away. Karthik, do you want to come back? Did you get disconnected? We have Indian atheist on the line. Uh, hi.
Hi, Vimoh, how are you?
Are you using an electric shaver or something?
No, no.
There's a very strong sound coming from your side.
Okay, I'm coming back.
Okay.
We can take another.
Okay. So I'll take Karthik until Indian atheist finds out what is causing the disturbance. Hi, Karthik.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Don't call me sir.
Hello. Okay.
Hi.
I
Go on.
just want to know. Yeah, I just want to know your opinion on rebirth.
There is no evidence to support it.
There's no evidence, but there are many people who have claimed to be reborn, and they have claimed their past life story. Right? You might have
Claims have
heard about Shanti Devi.
claims are not evidence.
Okay, have you heard about Shanti Devi?
Heard about whom?
Shanti Devi.
No. Go on. Tell me about her.
Yeah, she is a person who existed before our independence, and she claimed to be reborn.
Okay.
There is also a documentary about her.
But what is the evidence?
She has claimed about her past story, and
I
the
told you
people, her family members have,
a claim is not
yeah,
evidence.
her family members, yeah, her family members have visited in the place which she had born, and they find out all to be right.
So her family members' testimony might be colored. Even if the investigation has been conducted by other people, there might be holes in the argument. My point is, if I claimed right now that I used to be Julius Caesar in my last life, would you believe me?
No,
Why?
but I wish you to watch that documentary.
I have seen some. I used to be a believer in all kinds of shit, man. I used to read Deepak Chopra books. So I have seen
No,
some.
I'm particularly talking
I
about
have
that one person.
no, I can keep looking at things. If tomorrow I look at this documentary, my opinion does not change. Tomorrow someone else will come and say, but you have not seen that documentary. The overall principle remains the same. There is no reason to take rebirth claims seriously because they're just claims. And investigations, in many cases, have not given us enough data to conclude that there is anything real about them. That's all.
Okay.
If there is no evidence, why would I take it seriously? That's all.
Okay. But I wish you to see the documentary, and also there's a Wikipedia about her.
Okay. There's a
Okay.
Wikipedia about a comic book called Ravana also. Please read it. Hello?
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Chalo. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
That was Karthik. Indian Atheist has disappeared. Indian Atheist, whenever you want to come back, I'll take you. Right now, there's no one in the queue. So if anyone wants to click on the link pinned to the top of the chat, you can come and talk. Acha, Vivi has come. Hold on, Vivi. Give me a minute. Let me take a look at some comments. Taranga. They're asking Vimoh's opinion on rebirth. Ha 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 ha. No. Jashmin says Astha Mukti has debunked this rebirth story. Samarth says, if you were Caesar, I was Brutus. You too, Samarth. You too, Samarthas. Spark says Wikipedia is not the best source to verify something. LOL. Yeah. No, I'm aware of the fact that many people have claimed this. I'm also aware of the fact that there are many explanations available for these phenomena, if they are phenomena, that have nothing to do with supernatural reality. At the end of the day, look, somebody comes to you and says, I was Falana person from another village. You go to that village, you find someone who is there by that name. What is the more likely explanation? That the body has consciousness that leaves the body and is reincarnated in another body? Or that there is some physical explanation, like they found out this information, accidentally internalized it? If they were a child, there is even more of a chance of that happening. So, what is more likely? What is the simpler explanation for something like that? The only reason someone would come to the conclusion that rebirth is real is if they already want to believe it. A lot of explanations for a lot of proof that people offer for God's existence is also in the same category. It's not proof because they did not use that proof to come to the conclusion that God existed. They already believed that God existed because of childhood indoctrination and stuff, and then they found this explanation which they are now offering as a justification to continue believing what they believe. Let's take Vivi. Hi, Vivi.
Hi, Vimoh. Can you hear me?
Hello. I can hear you,
Yeah.
but there's an echo.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Go on.
Okay. So I have one, not a question, but just an opinion to make. So,
Okay.
if there are no religion in the world, I would feel that, in my opinion, the world would be more brutal. Okay.
How do you know that?
So even we have there is many more brutality in the world because of religion. But if there was no religion, it would have been more brutal.
But why do you
So
think so?
I mean, it brings a sense of morality, a kind of all other qualities in a human being because of the religion.
There were studies done. There have been surveys done on this about religion among death row convicts and stuff. And it has been death row convicts, का पता नहीं, but at least some prison surveys have happened, at least in America, and they have found that most people who are there are religious. They're theists. They believe in God. So clearly, these people's belief in God or their religion did not stop them from committing horrific crimes.
But that's just one study. I'm
So what
talking
is your
in
see
perspective of the.
you gave an opinion and I kind of tried to go against it using at least one study. What is the study that you have that says or proves that the world will
That's why
be
that's why I said it's an opinion. It's not based on any study.
yeah, but you also
I
want this
don't know if there
opinion
is
to
any
be
study based on this.
you also want this opinion to be taken more seriously than the study I mentioned, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So why?
I don't know if there is any if this has to be taken seriously. I don't know if there is any study on whether religious bring less brutality. Of there, if there was no religion, there would be more violence or more brutality. So that's just the opinion I
Yeah,
have
but your
right now.
opinion has to be based on something, right? What is it based on? Why do you think so? Is it like personal experience? Like you
as
find that?
as I said, it brings more qualities in a human being, and
Hmm.
there is ethical, there is morality, and everything that comes with religion. There
No,
are
but those
many
things
bad
exist
things about
independent of
religion,
religion
but there are
also.
also good things about religion.
But ethics and morality can exist independently of religion also.
Yes, that can also be done, but
Yeah.
when religion is there, you will have more ethics and morality.
No, why
Again,
do you
not
think so? That's what I'm
based
asking.
on any study. No, not based on any
Why?
study.
Why do you think so? If religion, if without religion, ethics and morality
Because
can
if you see
exist
the
and you agree
text,
with it,
if you see the holy book of all the religion,
yeah.
it gives a message of love others, love other human
Which,
beings.
no, the Bible teaches slavery, Quran teaches war, Bhagavad Gita teaches
I mean, you
caste.
can't just
Where is the peace here?
you can't just pick one verses or one line from any holy book and say that it's the whole book
I'm
saying
not
this.
picking up one verse. I'm talking extensively.
If there's
Chapters,
one verse or one
chapters
chapter
devoted
about
to.
slavery, there would be many more chapter and verses about all the good things
No, there
that the
aren't.
holy
Have
book
you? By
teaches.
the way, have you read these books? Have you read all these books?
Not read all the books, all the chapters,
Which one
but
have you read?
I've read Bible.
You read the Bible, and you did not
Mhm.
find the Old Testament God to be extremely, mercurial in his moods and all that. You did not find the justifications for slavery in the Bible.
I
You
have
did not
not
find.
read the full, not read the full Bible. There may be, some verses or chapters that are related to slavery
There are
or
not
all the
some verses.
wrongdoings.
There are not some verses or chapters. There are many verses and chapters, and the number of
Have
those
you
verses
read?
and
Have you
chapters.
read the full? Have you
I
read
have
all
read a
the
lot of it.
holy
I have
book?
read a lot of it. I have read a
Okay,
lot of
then
it.
can you tell me how many chapters or verses that you found from this holy book
I
that
can't
are
tell you the number. I can't tell you the number. I'm saying that
okay?
if a book contains
So
many chapters
you're
which
also
are.
speaking in you're also speaking
Maybe
here,
if
right?
you don't let me finish a sentence, how will we talk? Can I
Okay,
finish
go
my
ahead.
sentence?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm saying that if there is a book and it teaches many bad things, and you say that without this book, people will become bad, do you see the logical contradiction there? For some
I'm
reason, you
no
seem to
no
think,
no no.
for some reason, you
I
seem to think,
it
for
says
some reason, listen, for some reason, you seem to think that all the bad things are just by the side, a little bit, thoda sa idhar udhar. But the main thing is goodness. The reason you are doing so, I think, is because you are a good person and you want to think that your religion is good. But I think you are more moral than your religion. If your religion was not in your life, you would still be a good person.
Mhm.
You find yourself under pressure to think of your
Again.
religious book as good.
That's just
Uh,
that's a hypothesis. Like if there was no religion, everything was good.
my
I'm
hypothesis
not
is that
saying
you're a good person. Do you disagree with me?
I'm a good person. Is that an hypothesis you're saying?
Yes, yes. I'm thinking you're a good person. Do you disagree? Are you saying you're not a good
I
person?
well, then I'll ask you what is the definition of a good person. Then it
Have
will
you?
be a long debate. Then I mean
Why are you?
that's
Why do
not
you want to debate about whether you are a good person or not? I'm giving
no.
you the
Then
benefit
no
of the
no.
doubt.
Then I'll we have to first define what is a good person. Like, can you tell
I
me
think
what
a
is a
good
good
person.
person?
I think a good person is someone who does his best not to hurt other people, does not
Okay.
encourage discriminatory practices in society, treats
Hmm.
everyone with respect, and yeah, that's it. I guess.
So these are the qualities of a good person, right?
Yeah.
Then you will find very less or maybe no good person in the world.
Ah, you're talking about original sin. No, I think that within certain frameworks, it is possible to be. So tell me, have you ever killed anyone?
No,
Have you ever
like
encouraged?
human being,
Have
like
you?
human being.
Yeah, yeah, human being only. Okay.
No, no,
Have you ever encouraged discriminatory practices and held slaves?
no.
Have you ever
But again,
treated?
that's your
Have you ever, Sonle bhai? Have you ever
hmm.
treated other people as if they were less than you?
uh in some situation, yes.
Like, for example,
It was a situational thing. So
what is?
uh,
Give me an example, na. If you're honest enough to admit it, I appreciate it. Go on, tell me.
My point was, like, if you're picking something which are good or bad, like if you say that, a person who has not paid taxes, who has evaded taxes, is that a good or bad person?
Maybe they didn't have
Then
money. Maybe they didn't have. No, I personally do not think not paying
no, he's
taxes
paying taxes
makes
and he
you
didn't have money.
immoral.
What is that logic?
What?
He's paying taxes and he doesn't have money. He's in that salary bracket. That is then you are a bad person, right?
Maybe he
If you're
lives in
not
a
paying
society where
taxes.
taxes are. Maybe he lives in a society. Maybe that person lives in a society where taxes are a burden, where he's being taxed much more than he can pay. There are societies
No, but
like that,
still
right?
he has to follow. He has to follow the law, right?
So you're
Even
talking
if
about
the
legalism
taxes.
then. You're talking about legalism then.
Yes.
But that's a
Yeah.
that's a specific kind of philosophy of governance that was in practice in China a long time ago.
No. So my point is, I'm not cherry picking that these are the qualities that make a person good or make a person bad. I'm not going into that debate. What I'm saying, I'll again come to my first point, that I am saying that yes, there are but there are brutalities going on in the world. There are violence, but if there was no religion, it would have been worse. That was my point.
My point is that a lot of brutalities that you're talking about are happening because of religion. If religion was not there, these brutalities would not be happening, right?
How can you prove that?
Religious wars happened because of religion. Ireland में two types of Christians are fighting. Islamic like violence in the name of Islam is happening all over the world. Hindus are committing violence in the name of Hinduism. If these religions did not exist, what would be the foundation for this violence continuing?
Okay.
You see my point? You see my point? Right?
Although I don't fully agree, but yeah, it's fine.
Tell me what you disagree with.
So you're saying that there are a lot of violence happen because of religion. I mean, there are much more violence happen not because of religion.
Give me an example.
Like the World War I and II, that was not because of the religion.
Sure.
Right.
So what?
The bombing of that Hiroshima, Nagasaki, that was not because of religion.
World wars happened and they were a terrible thing. I am saying you seem to think that more such things will happen if there was no religion. When I'm telling you that a lot of shit that is happening right now is directly because of religion. If religion did not exist, these things would not happen, right? You agree with that?
I can't say that.
If religion did not exist, then Hindu violence, Muslim violence, and Christian violence would happen or not?
Yeah, that religious-based violence would have not happened.
Right. So that part
but
we agree.
There may be some other violence related to atheism.
That other thing that you're talking about, other things will happen if religion did not exist. Where is the foundation for that? This part we agree on. We agree that if religion did not exist, religious violence would not happen. You're saying if religious violence did not happen, some other violence would happen. Where is the foundation for that? What is the reason for that? Why are you saying it?
Okay. No, I don't have any this support or anything to support this. This was just my opinion. So
yep.
I wanted to know what was your counterpoint.
I don't want to push you into a corner. It's okay if you don't want to talk about it.
Maybe I'm living in a utopian world where I'm imagining that if there was no religion, there would have been more brutality. Just my.
How is that utopian? Utopian would be if you said if there was no religion, there would be much less violence.
I can't make any such statement. I don't know if that would have happened.
You are making the opposite statement, though. How you're not able to make this statement because you say there is no data, but you are happily making that other statement, which is the exact opposite of it.
Both the statements are devoid of data. This is just the opinion.
Yeah, both statements are devoid of data, but you're not making both of them. You're making one of them.
So if I would have made both, I am making one opinion. So other one can make the other opinion, right?
Yeah, but
why both the opinion has to come from me?
Making that? I'm saying why are you making? I'm not asking you to justify the thing that you did not say. I'm asking you to justify the thing that you did say.
Again, the same point, like in Holy Book, you we will have all good things mentioned. There would be some bad things as well,
Many
but
bad
there are a
things.
lot more good things.
Many
Yeah, but there
bad
are
things.
many
Many
more,
bad.
many
Many
more good
bad.
things.
Horrible. No, 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 no. Many bad, horrible, terrible, sexist, casteist, violent,
That I agree.
hatred
That I
filled,
agree.
slavery encouraging things.
Yeah, but
But
you have
anyway,
also not read the book, but then you're
I
claiming
have.
something.
I
That's fine.
have. I have read as much as you have, man. And it is very clear to see that these things are there. If you want me to quote
Okay.
specific examples, I can quote the next time you come. I'll keep examples ready if that's okay.
No, no, that's fine. It's okay.
Okay. Chalo.
Yeah.
Bye
Nice
bye.
talking to you. Thank you.
Yeah, same here, man. Thank you. Bye bye. Good conversation. Next is a person who's called Con Artist. Hi, Con Artist.
Hi, Vimoh.
Hello.
Yeah, hope you're doing good. And
What's up?
yeah, I would like to first give some example to Vivi.
I hope you don't
Stating,
mind. I hope you don't mind. I changed your name.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Go on.
So
Go on.
we were saying, oh, religious books doesn't create
Huh.
any war. The current
Huh.
Iraq war on women rights and Afghanistan Taliban
Yeah.
women rights are purely based on
He was
some
talking about
books.
the Bible, though.
Yeah, any book doesn't matter. I can write my own book producing
Yeah.
only good rules and say, oh,
Yeah.
this is the religion, and
Yeah.
will people start
Exactly.
following it?
But anyway, what is
Yes.
your point?
Yeah. So coming to my point, yeah, you have different people with different religious and different perspective to help to only their own community or their own biased stuff. So being a con artist, I've experienced if you behave like from their own community or
When
from
you
their
say
own,
you're a con artist, what do you mean?
yeah, you behave like
When you say
you're
you're a
not the
con
same one.
artist, con
Yeah,
artist. When you say you're a con artist, what do you
not
mean?
for, yeah, I we pretend to be as someone else, not what we are.
Are you an actual con artist?
No, not, yeah,
Acha. Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
But maybe you will you may or may not know. But yeah, when you pretend to be someone else, they will be like, oh, this is very good, and he's from us, and they do all the favors. But
Hmm.
when you're not, then they'll not do anything. So they are also biased, and you're taking advantage of their weakness. So do you think it's right or not?
I don't understand the question. Can you repeat it in a simple way?
Yeah. Imagine there is a person A, like from community X, and he wants to help to only his community people or his religious people, but you are not from that. So you pretend to be, oh, I am also from this community and this your people, and you try to take all the advantages of that community.
Hmm.
Is that good or bad?
Is this a conversation about reservation?
Not for reservation, it's for
Okay.
anything. Not only for reservation. Imagine you want to get some paper signed, you want to get your things done. Even for cricket selections, they're checking if you're from same community or not. So you behave like, yeah, I'm from same community. You just dress up like, oh, I'm from this same community, and talk like that, and
Hmm.
they select you. Is it good to take advantage of that? Because they're also cheating, and
If you are powerful, no. If you're powerless, yes.
yeah, if, sorry, can you repeat? If you're,
If you take advantage of some kind of community's identity in order for personal betterment,
yeah,
it is bad if you are powerful and not bad if you are powerless. Or in case you are powerless, more attention. I need to know more about the story, like what is being
yeah, yeah,
denied to you.
yeah,
What
yeah,
is being denied to you that you have to take on someone else's identity in order to find this thing? I would not be too quick to judge powerless people when they do this. I would
yes.
judge powerful people very harshly if they take on someone else's
No, no,
identity
yeah,
in order for personal
yeah.
betterment.
This is the thing, right? Powerful people are already getting that. It's the
Yeah.
powerless people who have to fight for it to
Yeah.
get
So the
that
lens
power.
has not the lens that we look at this through cannot be the identity. It has to be power.
You can expose that in ICC or BCCI selections in Tamil Nadu. They select only specific people, and they don't
Mm,
select specific
mm,
other community people, even how
mm.
talented you are.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, yeah. I have a lot of examples like this. So that's why I
Okay.
brought con artist.
So
Like,
okay. Any other point?
yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Indian atheist is back. Hi.
Hi, Vimoh. How are you?
Good, good. What's up?
I'm good. First of all, I really appreciate your logical and rational explanation always.
Thank you.
My question is, do you attend religious functions among your family, relatives, or friends? If yes, don't you think that by doing so, you are somehow endorse such irrational practices in society? And if you do not attend, how do you manage them?
Here's the thing. If a religious function is happening in my house, it is inescapable because there is 20 people versus me alone. So I try to stay
Okay.
out of the way and let people enjoy it. If there is good food on offer, then I eat it because food does not have any religion. If a religious festival is happening somewhere outside, then I never go.
ओके तो कभी कभी ऐसी क्लोज फ्रेंड्स और उनको मना करना उनको बुरा लगेगा
Hmm.
मतलब
Hmm.
ऐसा किस तरह से मैनेज करते हैं उनको क्या बोलते हैं फिर आप
Uh, the religious functions that I have to that I get invited to are almost never from friends. They're usually from
रिलेटिव
family, the elder generation and all that. So if I
ओके
don't go, they don't lose anything. They get their friends in the form of my parents and stuff, and they're happy. So मुझे कुछ खास मेहनत नहीं करनी पड़ती. If it's friends, you can say that I will come, I will eat the food, and I will leave. You don't need to take part in the religious ritual and stuff. So, see, my position, generally speaking, about religious festivals is that if you are only if the only thing you're doing there is hanging out with people you love and eating food and enjoying yourself and enjoying community, then go and enjoy yourself. Life is too short, and atheism is not atheism alone is not enough to live a happy life. You need people, and if religious festivals are the bahana using which you get to meet people, by all means go and do so. Life is too short.
सेम थिंग इज हैपनिंग विद मी सो आई जस्ट वांटेड टू नो योर ओपिनियन ऑन दिस मैटर थैंक यू सो मच थैंक यू सो मच
Thank you, Indian atheist. That was Indian atheist. Next is Mahek, your devices are not connected. Do you want to go out and come back? Because it shows your devices are not connected. I'll take Psyduck in the meantime. Hi, Psyduck.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey. Vimo, actually, a few days back, I stumbled upon your Twitter and you had given a reply to someone. It was along the line, I was paraphrasing a little. It was along the lines that if a bhakt is calling someone like from a liberal side anti-Hindu, so basically he's doing disservice to his own religion because scrutinizing a religion will
Yeah.
strengthen it in afterwards. That was your do you still stick with it? Do you still stick with the thought?
Yeah, my point was that if someone's intention is that their religion should not be hurt,
Yeah.
first of all, I don't care because I don't belong to their religion. But if their intention, like it can be a bhakt, a Muslim man, a Christian man also. I've seen this argument so many times कि हमारे धर्म की बात हमारे ऊपर रहने दो, इसको criticize मत करो, right? So my point, generally speaking, is that if you want the betterment of your religion, according to you, if you want your betterment of your religion, then you should
Yeah.
listen to people who point out flaws in it, right? Because it's like a boat. There's a hole in the boat, and the guy
Yeah.
in the next boat is saying, "Hey, तेरे boat में छेद है," and you're like, "मेरे boat की बात मेरे ऊपर छोड़ दो, ठीक है? मैं अपने boat के बारे में कोई criticism नहीं सुनना चाहता." Then you will drown. Your religion will go down with you. The other
Yeah, but
person may be your enemy, but he's pointing out something that needs to change, and if you don't change it, then you will suffer because of it. That was my point.
no, my point was in this case we can't exactly generalize the overall situation because he's talking about Hindu situation, right? Like the Hindu religion.
Mhm.
So do you think that there is any semblance of reformation in this religion? Because I don't think so.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that I don't think so. But here's my problem. Suppose I see someone who's intent upon calling themselves Hindu. right?
Hmm.
And this person is also suffering because of the religious practices. So I have two choices before me. I can say leave the religion, or I
Yeah.
can say maybe the religion should change. If I say leave the religion, they hate me. If I say
Okay.
maybe the religion should change, there is a chance of them listening to me. So depending on the situation, I go for the approach.
Okay. So there was
Maybe
in
it
his
won't work. Maybe all the
yeah.
reformation attempts will fail. Maybe it won't work. Maybe it's destined to go down, right? And if that is the
Yeah.
case, it will go down, and nothing I say or nothing they say will matter. But in the short term, if I want to help someone who's stuck in a religion, it is
Hmm.
not always extremely helpful to say that leave the religion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, I was trying to be more specific regarding the Hindu religion because in history there have been efforts to create reformation in the religion in
Hmm.
1920s. Even Baba Sahib was part of that as well. But
Hmm.
afterwards, he gave up on it, and so like giving certain the evidences and everything, and he gave up on it. So
Hmm.
there is still a reformist part of people who I think belong to liberal side that
Hmm.
still say that w- there is some there is some chance of reformation
Yeah.
because those guys are usually categorized into reformist people. So I was
Hmm.
just thinking, do you see
No.
any chance of
No.
okay,
I don't.
okay,
My position is that religion itself is beyond reform. The very
okay,
fundamental idea of there being supernatural realities which guide the human condition, it can be attacked from so many different forms. I've written an essay called Reclaiming the Material Body. The body is all we have, but all religions treat the body as secondary because they want to believe in some kind of supernatural reality where there's a sky daddy or some cosmic principle like karma or a cosmic consciousness or god or angels or demons and stuff. It all devalues normal everyday reality. So religion in general, like there are, by the way, have you heard of something called atheopaganism?
no, no,
There is a religion, apparently it's atheistic, and it uses pagan motifs only as
okay,
symbolism. So it
okay,
tries to add a storybook logic to real life while not believing in any god, anything else, and they accept the scientific worldview to be true because there is evidence for it. So when we say
okay.
religion, a couple of years ago, even I would have been super confident that religion should go away. But as far as reformism is happening, maybe something like atheopaganism is something even you would consider to be reformed religion. As for the specifics of Hinduism, no, I agree with you. I don't think it can be reformed.
It might be it will be dependent on the people's action regarding
Hmm.
this because the reformation in Hindu religion was geared because of the caste situation.
Hmm.
So after the reforming some neo Hinduism, if someone classifies himself as neo Hindu,
Hmm.
if he still caste is like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
reformation didn't do shit. So that's the thing.
The thing is that before you can solve a problem, you have to first accept that the problem exists. And most Hindus won't even do that. They
Yeah,
won't
they
even
might
think of the
repackage
caste
it,
system
right?
as a problem. They'll say, "Arey, it was not a discriminatory system. It was Varna Vyavastha and all that." Pehle
Correct, correct.
accept to karo, it's a problem. Then only we'll start solving it, right? But they won't even get there.
Because that so do you think like actually this will be like two cishet people talking about feminism, but in savarna feminism uh, there is a thing that they try to reclaim the rituals and how karwa chauth was feminist and how so even that happens. So
Yeah.
repackaging of religion in at least savarna feminist circles happens, so
Hmm.
the religion might survive there as well. So
Kya pata?
actually, that's
I
so
have. I'm at a after years of bashing my head on this wall. I'm at a place where I just say not my problem. तुम्हारा धर्म है, तुम
okay,
इसको रिफॉर्म करो. अगर रिफॉर्म हो गया, then I'll be like, oh wow, you managed it. अगर नहीं हुआ तो it'll be just exactly what I had thought. बस.
okay, okay. Thank you. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Idak.
Yeah.
I'm always fascinated that someone's display picture is Quentin Tarantino and their name is a Pokemon. But Mehak is back. Hi, Mehak.
Hello.
Hello.
So
ये
so last
डिस्प्ले
week
पिक्चर में
we
डिस्प्ले
had
पिक्चर में तुम हो?
मेरे दोस्त और मैं
अच्छा,
साइड में हूँ साइकिल के कारण, पर
तुम कौन से वाले हो?
लास्ट वाला
राइट साइड?
लास्ट वाला व्हाइट शर्ट, राइट साइड
व्हाइट
लास्ट वाला,
शर्ट? अच्छा, नॉट द ब्लू गाय।
येलो शर्ट, नॉट द
ओके,
ब्लू।
गॉट इट। मुझे येलो नहीं दिख रहा है यहाँ पे। अच्छा ठीक है, बोलो।
तो लास्ट वीक हम लोग का डिस्कशन हुआ था कास्ट को लेके।
हम्म
तो अ, तुम मेरे को मेनली ये जानना है कि व्हाट इज योर एग्जैक्टली द प्रॉब्लम विद द कास्ट सिस्टम इन योर माइंड। व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम? इज द प्रॉब्लम दैट इन द current situation there are some castes which are uh, up in the hierarchy and some which are below, or the problem is that there exists a caste system which divides people into the occupationally, but also on their family. Like we cannot break the caste system. What is the problem? The division or the discrimination?
So in the first scenario, you simply have categories of people who do different things. In the second scenario, you have categories of people who do different things, but those categories are imposed upon them on the peril of on the fear of punishment. Is that what you're saying?
And also there is a hierarchy. Like one is above and one is below.
Yeah, the hierarchy part is obviously not healthy. But my point is, if you have a system where different people do different things and they are not allowed to go from one to the other, then that is always going to devolve into something. It is an oppressive system. So, uh, are there societies where different people do different things? Yes. But that is not a caste system, that's just people doing different things. The hierarchy is what creates the oppression. Some people being more important, some people being less important, and people who are considered less important not being allowed to do the things that the so called more important people do.
Oh, but there have been propositions from reformist groups like Arya Samaj, from Gandhi himself, from the early Vedic text also. Some of the scholars say that the caste system can be flexible, and people can go from above to a lower caste, from lower to above upper caste. So
Well, see,
will
here's the
that caste
problem.
system will be okay with you?
Gandhi is probably not a great example to use here because uh, he told the people that he called Harijans, he told them to be happy with their lot in life, at least on a few occasions. Early Vedic sources, I don't know which ones you're talking about, but my problem is generally with uh, the idea that the problems with the caste system can be understood and solved by the people who created the caste system. So, whenever you are citing a Brahminical source as a solution to the caste system, you are making the same mistake. Upper caste people, Savarna background people, are not going to be the people who bring the solution to this because the system makes them extremely comfortable. The solution will come from people who have suffered because of it. And the best thing people like you and I can do as Savarna people is to just get behind them and get out of their way and let them do the things that are necessary to make society a more equal place.
I don't completely agree with the second part, but the first part is correct that they have been made by the upper caste people, so it will always favor them. I am saying that even if it was not made by upper caste people, I have a problem with discrimination based upon this kind of thing. I don't have a problem with distinguishing amongst people. Like
No,
it
but
is
Mehak,
okay for us to.
why are you making this into a hypothetical thing? I say there is a discriminatory
No, it
system
is
created
leading
by.
up to.
If it's a
It is leading
discriminatory
up to
system,
reservation.
it is a discriminatory system created by the upper caste people. You are saying even if it was not created by upper caste people, I would be opposed to it. You are trying to remove the complicity of upper caste people from the system. If upper caste people did not create the system would not exist. The only reason you and I are talking about this system right now is because your ancestors and my ancestors created it and perpetuated it. So why are we trying to take them out of the equation and talk about this as if it exists in some kind of a vacuum? The caste system is a product of Savarna efforts. Simple.
Yes, I am saying that I have a problem with discrimination with regards to castes, not only the part that some castes are above and some castes are below. That it is very
I don't
common
know
for
what you mean
people
by
to
that.
propose.
That is the
It
fact
is
that some castes are above and some castes are below is the caste system. What else is there?
yes,
What are
yes.
you talking about?
I am saying that eventually all caste system will devolve into that. But I am saying that I want to point out to reservation as a solution to caste system. It is a means to give power to the scheduled caste. It is correct, but it is not a solution to the caste system itself because the
You
caste
said
system.
this. You said this in the last episode also. Are you saying that you have a better solution than the reservation?
No, no. I am saying the reservation is not a solution to the problem. I am
Then what
citing.
is?
It is a
Then
solution.
what is?
There must be a social revolution. And last time also you said that everything is political.
Reservation is that
If
social
everything
revolution.
is
Reservation
no, no,
is
it is
that
not.
social
It is a.
revolution.
I am saying that it is political and also reservation is a means to uplift the caste. It is not to remove. It is not a system to remove the caste. I
It
am
you
saying that
remove the
let reservation be there.
if listen.
But
If there is a country like ours जहाँ पे ब्रिटिश लोग आए थे और उन्होंने अपनी सरकार बना ली and they did not give us any power. What is the solution to it? The solution is to give us power, right?
yes, like they did, right? There were legislative assemblies. Indians were getting elected. Indians were
No,
running
no,
running the country. But
all that,
Indians were not in
all
power.
that is secondary. I'm saying if a system exists where some people have the power to make decisions and other people don't have the power to make decisions, then what is the solution? It is to give the people who don't have power the power to make decisions, right?
It is somewhat part of the solution. My solution would be to share the power with people who don't have the power rather than giving it.
Why?
No, because giving power, uh, by giving power, you are inherently making an assumption that they are more virtuous and they will not use it at the same way that the current people are using it.
So, Mehak, what you
I
are
say
encouraging here,
we share the
what you are
power.
encouraging, what you are saying here is actually casteism. You are, as an upper caste person, you are saying, see, I'm an upper caste person and I'm happy to give them power, but I don't want to give them too much power because how do I know they will use it correctly?
But you cannot point to any evidence that to say that lower caste people are much more virtuous than upper caste people.
Are you a better judge of what is good for you or is the British man?
I am obviously
Right. So when you say that
no,
the lower
but
caste person will not be able to make as good a decision as you, are you not
no, no,
making
not
a mistake there?
not for themselves. I am saying, but for
It is
general,
for themselves.
for everyone.
It is for
No, no,
themselves.
no. Are you saying that we have to leave India if we give power to the upper caste, to the lower, to
You are
the
saying
scheduled
that.
caste?
You are turning this into some kind of fantasy scenario. All I am
No,
saying
I am saying
is that all I am saying is that reservation means giving power to the people who don't have power so that they may be able to make decisions about themselves. And if the system's problems arise from the fact that they are not able to make decisions for themselves and they are being oppressed because of it, then the solution is simply to give them that power. You are trying to make it about the fact that, see, I know that my ancestors were oppressors, but now that I have the power to give to people who were oppressed, I wonder if they will be able to do well. The track record for you and I and our ancestors is very clear. They were shit at it. Now there is a chance of the power being given to people. And by the way, nobody is saying कि सबको बाहर निकाल देंगे एक बार रिजर्वेशन मिल गया तो
I am
रिजर्वेशन
also saying that.
कोई भी nobody no you're making it into a fantasy scenario. You said this last time also.
No,
You are trying to go
no,
about you're trying to go about debunking reservation through a very twisted means, because what you're doing
no. I,
effectively is
I
still
am
casteism.
entirely in support of reservation. I am entirely in support for reservation, and the fact is that it is not doing its job also properly because most of the
How would
reserved
you know? How
seats
would
are
you know
not being
what it
filled
is doing? See,
because because
my
the
problem is you
representation
are
is not there.
imagining your Mahek, shut the fuck up and listen. My problem is you are imagining yourself as more capable of knowing what is good than the people against whom you and I and our ancestors have been terrible. You are not. You're wearing blinkered glasses, you're wearing colored glasses, you're still looking at the same problem, you're still looking at the problem through that same superiority complex that created the caste system, and it is not going to
No, I
work.
think you are completely uh,
Under
misrepresenting what I'm saying. Not under misrepresenting. I am saying
Mhm.
that the reservations are not being done. It is very clear in the Supreme Court, in the high offices, IAS offices. The reservation is not being done properly. There is no not adequate representation. There is no reservation in judgeship, but there is not adequate representation. I'm saying that, and that is why it is failing because it is not
so
being
reservation,
done
so there
properly.
should be,
I am
so would you agree if I said that there should be more reservation?
no. I am saying that is not the solution. Well, first we need to achieve this goal also.
Which goal?
I, the 23% and 27%, I think, are the numbers. That goal should be achieved. The
Listen,
theoretically,
you and I can quibble, you and I can quibble about which percentage and what area is good, but I would rather not do that, because I would rather that conversation be had between people who are on the receiving end of casteism. एक सवर्ण आदमी दूसरे
I,
सवर्ण आदमी के साथ बैठ के
I
रात
am
के 11 बजे एक
I
लाइव
am not
स्ट्रीम में
deciding the percentage. I am not
नहीं ठीक
deciding
है,
the percentage. I am
ठीक है,
just
Mahek, I got your
just
point. I got your point, but I have to end this
uh,
conversation because there are four
I
people
want
waiting.
one last point. My point is that, at the end of the day, in the society, the people who are being oppressed are not going to get respect because one of them has become a parliament member of parliament, right? Because
Why would they not get
that is
respect if
not
they
how the
become a member
society
of
works.
parliament?
That particular person will get respect. The whole caste will not get respect,
So
obviously,
that's again a bit of a cop
because
out, right? You have the opportunity of doing something, and because you're saying this something will not solve everything, nothing should be done.
no, I am saying that there that a social reformist change is required, something of a social religious nature that will
Yeah,
change
and that will
caste
happen
system.
when you give
That
power
will
to
remove.
people from. That will
Hey, I
happen
am
when
saying
you give
keep
power
reservation,
to.
na.
You're saying
I am saying I am saying that we are becoming very much obsessed with reservation only. Reservation is a part of the solution,
until and
but it
unless
is
you
not the
find a
solution.
better way, reservation is the only way. You tell me what the better way is. The only thing you have given me is some vague words about social revolution and stuff. What is your better way?
Better way, well, like religious conversion, like giving up of religion is much a better way.
Like
Like if there is a social movement that people,
converting to what? Atheism, Buddhism, what?
atheism, Buddhism, Islam also people convert to escape
So
casteism.
how will that solve problems? इस्लाम में भी कास्टिज्म है. आज ही एक आदमी आया था. थोड़ी देर
Nah,
पहले हम लोग उसके बारे में बात कर रहे थे. You
it
are
is obviously there.
underestimating the influence of caste across the board. There is casteism among communist parties. There is casteism among atheists. There is casteism among Hindus, Muslims, and Christians all over India. Religious conversion is going to do jack shit for it.
But I'm saying we should much more focus on removing the caste rather than just reservation,
भैया
which is
जिसका caste,
uplifting of caste.
someone who's suffering because of their caste is not suffering because they decided to suffer. It was fucking imposed upon them by upper caste people, right? So how can you tell someone who's suffering that, listen, you are you need to give up the thing that we have imposed upon you in order to escape the trauma that you're going through?
I did not get that point.
You're saying कि giving up of caste is a solution, right?
Removal of caste system. Not once if one side will give up the caste, then all the caste people
How
will
will
be
it
the
be
lower caste.
removed?
Na? It is against.
It's not going to evaporate, right? What is the solution you're actually offering? What is the practical on
I
ground thing that can be done according to you apart from reservation?
I am not that creative. I don't know that yet, but I know
Then
that
let the
that will be
reservation process
something.
happen. Na, it's maybe it is not
I am
perfect.
not stopping it now, Baba. You are thinking that
I
I am
know you're
against
not.
reservation. I
You're
am
saying
not.
that it should be, right?
What
Stopped.
reservation? Eventually, yes. Once the caste system is removed, it should be stopped.
Yeah, sure. After the caste system is removed, definitely. But you have not given me anything to say what will stop the caste system.
That I don't know, but I am saying that we should
मेरा
stop
point
the
है
caste system rather than.
मेरा point है caste system exists. Caste system is
Hmm.
problematic. It should go. The best way we know how to do it is reservation. You are saying reservation is not enough. I'm asking what else is there, and you're not giving me anything.
That I am saying I am obviously not capable of thinking that of such a good
No, no,
solution
no.
that will resolve a
Don't undersell yourself.
2000 year problem.
I'm sure if you try really hard, you will come up with something. But Mehak, I have to let you go now. Chalo, bye bye.
Okay, bye.
That was Mehak. What the heck, Mehak? Uh, Next is Sai Ganesh. Hold on, let me. Sai Ganesh, go on, make your point. I'll remove the pinned link from the chat so that other people can't join. Time may have.
Yeah,
Go on.
sir. Sir, how are you? How are you doing?
Good, good. Don't call me
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, yeah. I know, but it's out of respect. I'm calling you. Uh,
Okay.
uh, we must. I think, sir. I need to make 3 points here. The first thing is that to eradicate completely the caste system, reservation is not the solution. Reservation can give political administrative powers to the people that
Sai
they think
Ganesh,
they are
listen.
scheduled caste.
I don't have the patience to go through the same points that I just went through. My question to you, I'll make it really simple. If your point is that reservation is not enough, tell me what you think should be done.
Hmm. Okay, sir. On the basis of I don't know any probable random probable technique, the so-called upper caste should be compel by compulsion they have to marry the low caste people, and the low caste people also mix with the high caste people. That will be a.
So people should be forced to marry people they do not want to marry. That's your solution. Hello, Sai Ganesh. क्या हुआ भाई? I think Sai Ganesh got disconnected. Anyway, let me let me just say my answer to that, and then I'll take the next person. But the solution to a problem that creates that 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 is forced upon people cannot be that we will force people out of it using some other kind of forcible uh, behavior. you you can't force people into marriages. You can condemn them for making caste the basis of marriage, but you can't force people to marry other, like, that's just, what is the solution? You take an upper caste girl and force her to marry an so-called lower caste man, because that's going to perpetuate the problem even further. These are childish solutions. I don't know who comes up with these. You can't force people to marry people that they don't want to marry. Sure, some people are assholes, and the reason they choose not to marry other people is because of their caste. But the solution can't be forcing people to marry people. That's exactly what this whole love jihad circus was about. Hindu boys could not marry Hindu girls, so they found a way to penalize Muslim boys for being in relationships with, you know, Hindu girls. Forcing people to marry is not the solution to anything. Okay, by the way, Sai Ganesh is back. Go on.
Yeah, sir. They are not, we are not forcing them individually. You have to marry this girl or that guy. We are just giving. We have to marry from this caste person, the presumed what they think caste person, because
Okay, Sai Ganesh,
reservation can give power, sir, but it
no,
can't
no, no,
remove
no.
prejudice and stereotypes.
No, it can't be the solution. The solution you are proposing is preposterous and childish. And I'll prove it to you. Do you think racism was a good thing?
No.
So when white people made the rule that white people can't marry black people in South Africa, and that children born out of such marriages will be illegal, were they doing the right thing?
No.
So they were also not stopping individuals from doing it. They were saying कि we are not stopping any particular white man from marrying a particular black woman. We're just saying white people should not marry black people. It was the same kind of segregationism. This is not a solution to anything. It's ridiculous. Stop saying it
No,
and
no,
stop
sir, no, sir.
proposing it as a solution.
Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Yeah, sir. Then the reservation can be the solution. We will talk about this later. And the other thing is, sir, about the scientific method. And last week, I think in 10 days before we have talked about this, the atheism is becoming like a religion, like having the belief of materialism. I also made a point. We have to don't get into models, predetermined models of materialism or anything like that, or idealism. We have to be,
I
open.
remember. I remember.
Open.
I remember. I got your
Yeah,
point.
sir.
Good. Like, say what you want to say.
Yes, sir. The scientific method can become a new religion, or atheism can become a new religion. So that's my point.
No, it can't. And scientific method has nothing to do with atheism. Scientific
No,
method has to do with
scientific
observation and
method.
verification. Atheism is about lack of belief in God. They have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah, they have nothing to do with each other. But the scientists the people who do research, they are taking up the religion of materialism, sir. That's what I'm telling. That also I told that.
Materialism also has nothing to do with atheism. It is possible for an atheist to not be a materialist. Atheism has only got to do with lack of belief in God. Anyway,
Why
Sai
there is
Ganesh,
lack of first logically it can be.
logically it can be what?
Sorry, sir.
Sai,
How can you
first of all,
say
there are two problems.
that?
I'm having a bit of difficulty understanding. I'm having a bit of difficulty understanding you, and I'm also having a bit of difficulty trying to fit in 4 more people into the live stream. Maybe you can come next episode and we can talk about it. Is that okay? Hello. Okay. So I'll take on Sai the next time he comes. The next person is Thinking Humanist. Hi.
हाय विमो।
What's up?
काफ़ी टाइम से सुन रहा हूँ आपका बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं। पहली बार बात
Thank you.
कर रहा हूँ आपसे।
Brilliant.
मेरा जस्ट 2 छोटे से सवाल है, एक दूसरे से रिलेटेड है। आपका फ्री स्पीच एब्सोल्यूटिज्म के बारे में क्या ख्याल है? मतलब मैं जस्ट एक सेंटेंस में अपना ओपिनियन बता दूँ तो मुझे लगता है कि विद द एक्सेप्शन ऑफ डायरेक्ट थ्रेट ऑफ वायलेंस या फिर स्लैंडर या फिर some common sense things such as not being able to say bomb at an airport and all. Barring these things, everything else should be allowed. The state should not make any laws like criminalizing any.
Like what kind of laws are you talking about?
जैसे अभी अपने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में 295A राइट, रिलीजियस सेंटिमेंट्स हर्ट नहीं करना।
Yeah.
तो ये
I
बहुत
agree with you.
और दूसरा उसके ही रिलेटेड है कि इस टॉपिक के बारे में, इन जनरल फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन के बारे में हमारी सोसाइटी में इतना एपैथी क्यों है? मतलब मैं जस्ट मेरे माइक्रोकॉस्म
किसके बारे में?
इन जनरल द टॉपिक ऑफ लाइक इन जनरल फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन के बारे में।
किसके बारे में क्या बोल रहे हो?
फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन,
हाँ,
फ्री स्पीच के बारे में इन जनरल अपनी सोसाइटी में एपैथी लगती है।
What is that word you're saying right before in what?
हमारी सोसाइटी में एपैथी लगती है। फ्री
हाँ,
स्पीच।
I get it. Okay, नहीं, I was not picking up that one word that you're saying. But yeah, है apathy. What are you asking?
वो क्यों है? मतलब जिसका अभी जिसका पेट भरा नहीं है, जैसे दुनिया भर के प्रॉब्लम्स है उसका ठीक है, पर इन जनरल एजुकेटेड लोग, जैसे मैं मेरे माइक्रोकॉस्म की बात करूं तो एवरीवनस वेल ऑफ, एवरीवनस वेल ट्रैवल्ड एंड ऑल दैट।
Yeah. So this is about change, right? Social change. If change is needed, and there are two people, one person who is being hurt by the status quo and the other person who's extremely comfortable in the status quo, who is going to want change?
The person being hurt by this.
Yeah. The reason we're apathetic is because our lives are not affected by it. That's
Right.
it.
Okay. All right, Vimo. Thank you so much for taking me. बहुत सारे टॉपिक्स है, बाकी अगली बार पूछूंगा.
हाँ, बिल्कुल.
All right.
Thanking humanist, thank you for joining. Bye.
Bye bye.
Next is VVD. I hope you're not VV.
Hi, Vimoh.
Hi.
Yeah, I just want to make a couple of comments on the previous discussion you had with some about reservations.
Hmm.
I personally think reservation is probably a second or a third step in a multi-step process towards achieving its intention.
Hmm.
I say this because political parties of 75 years back and political parties now are saying the same thing: social justice for Dalits, social justice for
Hmm.
everything. So instead of thinking about alternatives for reservations, we can think about how can we make reservations efficient.
Okay.
Like
Do
for
you have any
example, some of
suggestions?
the I do not have any. Basically, the first thing I personally observed is that there is not enough awareness even after 75 years of independence.
Why
This
do
is
you think that
because,
is?
like, I've seen cases very close by. Like, my mother keeps telling me about incidents that happen. She's a government teacher, so she talks about how school girls of 16 years after going out of school, when they come back to meet their teachers after 2 years, they should be studying intermediate 12th class. They come up with they come back to meet as pregnant, which means
They come
I
back
mean
what?
they are married, they are pregnant by 18 years.
Okay. That's a function
So
of patriarchy, isn't it?
no, also about not enough awareness, because my mother keeps telling me that they have to keep on telling them that there are these SC hostels, hostels, more than enough scholarships for you. You can go to any part of the country and still study. I mean, not just in terms of tuition fees, but also there are hostels especially set up for you.
Hmm.
So they don't even know that. So I
Okay.
think that is a very big problem. Reservations can be made efficient only if that happens,
What happens?
because awareness,
Why do you think it is
proper
not happening?
awareness, mm, not enough effort from
By
uh,
whom?
government, any government, state and central.
Not enough effort by, and correct me if you disagree with me, not enough effort by the uh, people who have been in power, right?
Yes,
Do you think those people belong to scheduled castes or were they upper caste?
mostly upper caste.
That's the point. The
No, but
solution
even
to
in
even this awareness problem is that more people in decision making positions should be from castes which suffer. If
yeah,
those
that is
people who
definitely
make
the
decisions,
solution.
what?
Yeah, that is definitely the solution.
Yeah. So reservation is the only thing that will lead there. Reservation is not the second and third step. Reservation is the first step also. If reservation is implemented, more people from scheduled caste backgrounds will be in positions of power where they are able to spread more awareness. Right now, awareness is not spreading because, as I said, the people who have the power to spread the awareness don't feel like it is necessary because their lives are not being affected.
Yeah, that is true. But I mean, I was exactly talking about the lack of awareness, especially in rural areas, not in urban areas.
But
There
that's
is
the
a
same
difference
thing,
there
isn't it?
also.
That's the same thing, isn't it? If people from scheduled caste backgrounds were in power, there would be more awareness across the board, urban areas plus rural areas.
Yeah, but even people from SCs and STs who have a little bit of power are being appropriated by these other political parties
That is true.
who
Which is why we talk
uh,
about Brahmanism. We talk about the, Savarna in hegemony across positions of power and
and
government position power and
not
legal positions
directly.
of power.
Yeah, I cannot see the direct relation of, I mean, specific any scope for using, especially Brahmanism or anything, all upper castes.
Yeah,
And
I agree. Agree. Brahmanism means the entire system that is fed through the efforts of every upper caste, not
yeah,
Brahmins doing things. Yeah.
yeah, I personally observed that this is a big difference. And I mean, I have observed in my state, I come from Telangana. So, um, one example is that there is this scheduled tribe called Lambadis who
Hmm.
happen to live close by Hyderabad, close to Hyderabad regions, in districts closer to Hyderabad. And there are
Hmm.
other tribes which like Chenchus and Gonds which live in forest areas.
Hmm.
So the reason for making this point about awareness is because I mean, even though not all the Lambadis are aware and not using it efficiently, but there are people who happen to live close to urban areas and happen to get advantage of this reservation systems. But
Hmm.
those tribes who are far off from urban areas, they don't even know about such things like this exist.
Yeah.
So
And
I
it still
I
goes
find
back
it.
to, I get your point. I get your point. I'm sure there are many communities like this which need more awareness. But at the end of the day, I go back to my main point. The reason the awareness does not exist is because, as you said, there is not enough effort. And there is not enough effort because the people who have the power to spread this awareness do not belong to the categories that have been oppressed.
Yeah, and uh, the reason to justify that they'll give is that tribes want to be isolated. They don't want
Yeah.
to mingle with people. They're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
And
someone is really worried about tribes being isolated, get someone from that tribe, give them power to make decisions for their community, and then see what happens. But no, we won't
yeah,
give them power. We will want to make decisions for them, and when it doesn't work out, we will say, "What can we do?" They're the ones who don't want to be progressive.
yeah. And the final question I have is that there's a lot of discussion going on about the percentage of reservations given. I mean, these Tamil Nadu has been following 69% reservations for a long time now, and
Hmm.
recently Jharkhand, I think Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh have also passed state laws
Hmm.
of about increasing reservations up to 70%.
Hmm.
Now, the people, there are two sets obviously who say that this is too much, and people and the other side who say this is also even less. We have to increase even more. So, what is the actual correct number? Nobody's talking about the number. Nobody's justifying the number or
Well, I
trying to
suppose
at least
I
debate.
right. So right now, obviously, in a live stream chat between you and me at 11:24 p.m. on a Wednesday night, we are not going to arrive at the right number. Like there is obviously conversations to be had there about how to get to that number, what is going to be most useful, and all that. But I don't think I'm in a position to make that determination right now. Sure, I agree with you that that conversation needs to happen. Maybe the right number is above that, and maybe they will be able to get there. But I don't know what I can say to that.
And the only problem I have with that is just increasing or decreasing the number is not the problem, but politicizing this reservation system is my problem. It should not be politicized.
What
I
do you
mean,
mean by
not in
politicized?
like
It is a
they
political
use
measure,
that.
right? It is going to be politicized. If something has to do with giving people more representation, then by
I mean,
definition, it is
not in the
political.
sense of not in the sense of political representation,
Hmm.
but I mean, the intention behind that is to appease the lower castes.
Hmm.
And I think even after increasing, they'll not be able to same thing that is happening right now, not be able to implement it in the right way intended and with right intention is what I think.
So no, I don't think I agree with the fact that this should not be politicized. Is a good point, because If you are not referring to the fact that it is already a political decision, then you're probably referring to the fact that it's an election issue. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, just before elections, doing such things just before
Okay. So
elections
are
are.
you saying it should not be an election issue?
It can be, but the intention has to be correct, is what I believe, because
How do you
the,
how do
the
you
people.
determine that? If there are two political
Yeah,
parties
I
and
know
both have made it
it's
an election
difficult. I know.
issue, yeah, I know. Like there are two political parties, both have made it an election issue. How do you tell the difference between whose intentions are right and whose are not? At the end of the day, all it boils down to is the person who's going to have to make the decision. They will research, they will give their vote to this guy or that person, and you know, we will either be in a good place as a result of it or a bad place. But the solution to it is not that it should not be an election issue, right? It can't not be an election issue. It will be an election issue. They're called Bahujan for a reason. There is a reason every political party is shitting their pants thinking about the caste-based census. They know their numbers are large, and they're uniting as a political force. So everyone is going to have to deal with it on some level. No political party in India right now can stay out of that conversation, and that's a good thing. Sure, maybe there is some chaos right now, but this chaos will dissipate and hopefully some good things will emerge as a result of it.
Yeah, hopefully. But
Hopefully.
the reason why I said so is because
BVD, this is your last point,
uh,
huh? Uske baad I have to take Panda.
yeah. The last point is that certain political parties, like
Hmm.
the YCP in Andhra Pradesh,
Hmm.
they are branded as the Dalit party, the minority party, Muslims, Christians vote share. They enjoy their vote share,
Hmm.
and right after the elections, they completely fall at the feet of BJP. They
Hmm.
support each and every issue. In every issue by taken up by BJP, they support BJP. They have been doing that from like 2019, even in CAA. And they are called the minority appeasing party in
Hmm.
AP,
Hmm.
but still they are doing this. So that
See,
is the
I
reason why
don't
I'm
know.
saying that
I
even.
I got your longer point before you said this. I don't know about this party. I don't know about the nature of the relationship with the BJP, so I can't comment on it.
Yeah, I understand.
Thanks, VVD. Thank you. Right. So that was VVD. We are like 2 minutes away from the 2 hour mark, but I think we can give Panda 5 minutes. Hi, Panda.
Hey Vimoh, thanks for taking me.
Hey. Hey.
So I believe the topic is about the reservation, right? So you're for reservation, so you are encouraging it.
Yeah.
So if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So my point should that be based on the caste system, or should that be completely based on the financial situation of the person?
It should be based on caste system.
So why not? So with the finances settled,
Because we
would
are
they not?
talking about we already have financial upliftment schemes. But what we are talking about when we talk about reservation is caste-based reservations. They exist for the specific purpose of creating social equity between castes which have been oppressed for a long time.
All right, got you. So my question is like with the financial upliftment, so would there not be enough resources for the person who has already enjoyed the reservation to be in a better position than the person who may be weaker with financials?
No, because we are talking about caste-based reservations. You're talking about financial upliftment schemes, which as already I told you, they already exist. We have financial upliftment schemes for people who don't have money. Maybe there are upper caste people who don't have money. Maybe there are so-called lower caste people who don't have money. There are schemes for them. What we are talking about here is caste-based reservations, and they exist for a specific reason. And that reason is that caste-based discrimination exists. It prevents a lot of people from so-called backward castes from having access to resources. In order for them to get resources, access to political power, access to decision making, caste-based reservations are important.
All right, got your point.
Cool.
Yeah, so yeah, I agree to you. Yeah, thank
Okay.
you. Thanks for clarifying that.
Thank you.
Good day.
That was Panda, not the Panda I thought it's going to be, but okay. Before ending, let me take a look at member comments. Mm. Taranga is having a conversation with Blobby Bob. Mm. Taranga says, my conclusion from this live stream is that atheists are very patient people. To which Summer says, not all atheists. Hashtag not all atheists. Vimoh is patient. Everyone else is doctor. Taranga says, because so much patience required for a conversation like this, and so many callers are also atheists, saying they're trying to persist with reasoning with some. Yeah, that's my problem. This is why whenever someone talks about atheist unity, I'm like, क्या बात कर रहे हो? काहे की unity? किस बारे में unity? There is such like across the spectrum of virtuous to toxic, there is so much diversity within atheist itself that I wonder why people think that all atheists can unite under one flag of any kind, except the flag that we don't think there is a god. And I'm like, okay, what next? अब क्या करना है? हम में से कोई भगवान को नहीं मानता, अब क्या करना है? Uh, Blobby Bob says, the fuck? What is this? What's this about casteism among atheists? Mautik says, no upper caste will agree to give it up. Start from top. Sridhar says, Are Baba, please stop. Who are you talking to? Acha, that guy. Saurabh says, Vimoh, do you think ultimately we have to remove Hinduism to let go of casteism? I think Hinduism will either, I won't say anything. I think either there are two options. It will have to disappear or it will have to turn into something so different that it can no longer be called Hinduism. That's my answer to that. Anand says, so the solution to caste is eugenics. What the fuck is going on with that? My point exactly. Ajeebo-gharib solution nikalte hain log. K. Shah says, do you think having moral system based on strictly utilitarianism would be more ideal? I don't know. It would depend on what you mean by that, but I don't have the patience to go into that right now. Maybe you can come into the next live stream and we can talk about it. I can understand what you mean. Samad says many reserved seats in academia are still vacant. Sometimes institutes offer them on ad hoc basis to upper caste people. I'm not sure, but this might be the case in other sectors as well. Right. Blobby Bob, Lamau exactly heard it million. Yeah. Same old argument कि caste based नहीं होना चाहिए, money based होना चाहिए. But I try to treat every argument as if it's happening for the first time because I'm talking to that person for the first time. And if we make this point very clearly that financial aid is available for people who need it, this is caste based reservation. It is not about financial aid. These are two different things. We should, maybe if we speak to enough people, it'll be understandable. Abhijit, hi Abhijit. Abhijit says, hey dude, Abhijit here. Hi Abhijit. Luffy says, yo Vimoh, when are you leaving for your trip? Luffy, I'm leaving sometime soon. And again, I'll remind everyone that today is Wednesday. This Saturday there won't be an episode, and the Wednesday after that will not be an episode. I'm traveling. Year end hai, sardi बढ़ रही है, देख लो jacket पहना हुआ है. So I'm traveling a little bit, and I will come back, and the next live stream will happen on Saturday, December 17. And there is a community tab page post hai, which you guys can look at. And Samar says, why your financial aid hand looks like Singham's? I have no recollection of what my hand looked like I have no recollection of what my hand looked like when I said financial aid. But let me just remind everyone that I have started a book channel. It's called Vimoh Reads. I will share the link in the chat again. If anyone is interested, you can go subscribe to it. It's where I will talk about the books that I'm reading right now. It used to be my writing channel, but I find that I don't have enough to say about writing. So I've just turned it into a book vlog. Please go subscribe to it and tell people about it. I will be posting videos as often as I finish a video. So there's no schedule. If I'm reading a book, I'll finish it in 15 days, then I'll post a video then. If the next book takes 1 month, then the next video will be then. So subscribe to the reading channel, and I hope to see you there. Before सत्यानाश, पूरा लाइव स्ट्रीम खत्म हो गया और मैं टिकर डालना भूल ही गया था. तुमने ऐसे किसी ने याद भी नहीं दिलाया. I'll just remind everyone that if you want to support this channel, you can click the join button below and become a member of the channel, or you can go to patreon.com/Vimoh and you can support the channel that way. And if you want to buy merch, you can buy merch at kadakmerch.com/VimohLive. If you want to make a one-time donation, you can do your choice. If you want to visit this podcast on the web, you can do so at www.vimoh.in. All the links to all the audio episodes are available there. There are also links to all the audio apps on which the podcast is available. So you can just click through and go to your favorite audio app like Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Gaana.com, JioSaavn, etc. And you can listen to the podcast. Having said all that, now the ticker will disappear. Ticker मैं पूरा भूल गया आज, किसी ने याद नहीं दिलाया. किस लिए आते हो बे तुम लोग? But anyway, thank you for joining me today, and I really appreciate it. I will see you on Saturday, December 17. That is a Saturday, right? Yes, December 17th Saturday is when I will see you. Until then, please be safe, take care of yourself, and in case you don't join the last few live streams of the year, Happy New Year in advance. I'll see you then. Bye.